Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Can you hear me, guys? All right.
you sound a little bit far away, but that might be. Wait a second. I also need to turn the volume down on.
Yeah, I think that might be my microphone. I'm trying to go through the webcam this time, so.
Oh.
I know, exciting. How's that? Is that any better? I could put some. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It could just be that I've got volume quite quiet, and I have quite a loud voice.
I know. I would never say such a thing, could I? Static Noob, how is Germany receiving me?
Okay, I guess. I mean, I live here, so it's not much of a receiving.
No. Okay. That's good. Right. Can one of you go onto Twitch and see whether you can pick up my voice and your voices at the same time?
So listen, tune into Ethelred the Unready.
Yeah.
Could you post the Twitch link?
Yeah.
Oh, new Firefox. Sorry, just a moment. I'm there, dude.
Okay. Let me get my link.
There.
I'm so hopeless at this.
I'm there, dude.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, I can hear myself. So clearly, one of us is. Are you broadcasting your own recording at the moment?
Yeah.
Italian. Left forward. Time, son.
You probably need to mute him in Discord once he's got the Twitch open.
What I'm talking about, man.
Well,
I'm gonna turn Twitch down so I don't get massive feedback. But you can hear yourselves and you can hear me.
I could hear you. I could hear me on Twitch when you had Twitch open. So that's
okay. God, this is terrible.
And also, I could hear the front person through your thingy. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let me Okay.
I'm supposed to be playing another game at the same time, by the way. So.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be nipping out.
I'm gonna. I'll talk sporadically, basically. Who's supposed to be playing? Who's supposed to be inviting him though?
Oh yeah, I've got you. Right. Okay. Right, I've got it. I've got Twitch open on my phone.
Oh, I can see your face.
I know, my scary bald head.
Oh no, I can't. It's an advert.
Okay. Well, I've got it open. I've got the chat open here as well. So you don't have to watch on Twitch anymore because I think it works. So that's all right. Okay.
Good, because that advert's annoying.
Yeah. I suppose Helio might join us at some point, but.
Did he actually say he would be?
Well, he said he might be abound, but he's not. Yeah, he's not. I've just tagged him. He's online, but I don't know where he is. If that makes sense.
Yeah. He's not responding. His computer's on, but there's nobody home.
Well, yeah, that could be him a lot of the time, couldn't it? I'm just gonna. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rock, Paper, Shotgun Divisions of Death overview for season 15. So you can see my horrible face on your screen at the moment, but tonight I'm also joined by Rat Lover and all-round good guy Cord Knight. Cord Knight, can you hear me?
I'm not sure how I feel about being called a rat lover, but yes, I'm here. Hello.
Good. And my other admin, Static Noob, who I think is playing Pro Elves and what's your main team, Static? Obviously, don't do my
It's the
homework.
goblins.
And goblins, of course, yeah, with the famous chainsaw, which only hurts himself, I believe. Is that right?
It's the second chainsaw who only hurts himself, yes.
Okay, so you've got two obviously quality coaches, and to introduce myself, I'm Ethelred. I run the league, and yeah, I've won the league. Just putting that out there. So yeah, if you want advice, maybe just listen to what I'm saying, not the other two. But there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at.
Whoa! If we're going to talk about what people have
on,
won, I won the Stunty League. I'm clearly therefore the best Stunty player.
It's true. So when we've got questions on Stunty, then yeah, we'll be able to.
I know nothing about Stunty. I'm an awful Stunty coach.
For proper teams, then yeah, I mean obviously come to me, and we could be joined at a later point by professional northerner and all-round anti-playing person, heliocentric, who takes delight. I think the best way to describe heliocentric's play is to play in an unconventional way. Would you say that's right, Corn Knight Static?
Yes. Hasn't he named his stream something about being unconventional? Was it playing games badly?
Yeah, playing games badly. In a different way to how you're normally meant to play them. So, famously, stealth games, he just goes in shooting and so on and so forth. So, there we go. Anyway, he might join later if he can. So, without any further ado, we'll look at paper first. So, paper this season is split into two. So, we've got paper Division 1 and paper Division 2. That's because we've got over 20 teams in both. The deadline for sign-ups is today, so I'll probably set the leagues up to run in a moment as well. So you'll see your first matches come up. And yeah, we did decide on a playoff, haven't we, for paper Static Corn Knights?
Yeah,
I definitely. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the latest one was in favor of playoffs to reduce the downtime between sessions because Rock is going to have playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. If Rock's going to have playoffs, then you might as well give everyone playoffs. In fact, I think we should do more than that. I think we shouldn't just have playoffs to like the top two teams. I think we should have like playoffs to decide who's 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and that way everyone gets to play 2 extra games at the end of the season.
Well, we'll look at that, but I can't say that sounds. If you want to admin all that, Corn Knight, then yeah, that's an option. But yeah, at the moment we'll do. At the moment, the plan is for the top 2 for Division 1, which you can see here in Division 2. And what we'll do is have a mini knockout cup between those 4 teams, and they'll be the ones that go through. But anyway, if we want to look at Division 1, we'll look at Division 1 first of all. So look at the teams. So yeah, I think all the teams are registered now. So
excellent. So but Billy's accepted his ticket. And everything.
Billy accepted. I'm just checking. That we haven't got any more invited. Yeah, we've just got one team invited that it shouldn't be invited, so that's fine. So yeah, we'll start this today. And the first thing I'll do actually is just add a AI team. So I'll add an AI team now, which I've just done, and the AI team is Orcs. We'll just have a look at them first of all. If you guys or you Static can have a look as well. So the only skill on the Orc team for the AI is the thrower, who's got 6 SPP, and sensibly, bizarrely for the AI, he's been given block. Apart from that, it's a standard 4 blitz.
I'd totally give my thrower block.
Yeah, 4 black Orcs, 2 linemen, no goblin, no troll, 3 reroll Orc team. So it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to the new guys in the paper division. Okay.
Even with that extra skill, they're still 1,000 points, though, right?
No, they're actually. Do you know what? They're actually showing us 10-10.
Oh, they fixed it. Cool.
They fixed a little bit of it because yeah, he's worth 90k instead of what? Is it 70? I don't know, but but yeah. Anyway, it's not a TV 1000 team. It's 1010. So yeah, there we go. All right. So we'll have a real quick look at the teams. I mean, most of them are pretty new. I guess we'll start to look at the experienced teams first. So the first one, Static, is a Goblin team by Pixie Rail, Progress Through Technology. So as our resident Goblin expert, if you look at the roster, is there anything, and again, putting it all on you here, Static, is there anything you want to say about this this particular Goblin team?
Well, he has a 4 edgy gob, appropriately named as well, so I think he's on a good path to victory. He made the sensible decision not to go for Bomber. I'm hoping he picks up Apothecary soon, or this might end very badly.
I mean, do you really need an Apothecary? You know, who are you going to Apothecary in a Goblin team?
The 4 edgy Goblin.
The 4 agi one. I mean, just so that you just keep him safe. Don't let him get hit. You know, he can stunty dodge everywhere anyway. So
yeah, I mean,
have you looked at the teams in this division?
Yeah, I have a. Well, we've been through them all once.
but yeah, it didn't record very well, did it? So yeah, there's no dwarfs, I don't think, but there's Chaos Dwarfs actually.
There is Chaos Dwarfs, yeah, and aren't they one of the ones that's played a few games?
No, they're brand spanking new, the Chaos Dwarfs.
Oh, okay,
side.
Cool. They're the ones with the Minos and not that many dwarves. So
yeah, that's the one. So yeah, so with this Goblin team, I mean, it's got the Fanatic with Mighty Blow, which is a great skill, and that's a double as well on a Fanatic, isn't it? I think Mighty Blow.
No, it's not.
No, Mighty Blow.
They're strength.
Oh, they got strength axis.
Yeah.
Well, shows what I know. I don't play goblins that often, so yeah, that's pretty good. The AG4 goblin, as you're saying, then one of the trolls has got guard. So, just one question really: if you're throwing the gob, the 4AG one, and he gets eaten, can you Apo that, or is it no Apo on it eating?
That's interesting.
I think it's not Apoable.
Yeah. Because I think it is.
I mean,
as well.
I've never actually tried throwing a goblin that I wanted to live. So
interesting. Well,
and it's kind of safer to re-roll the one rather than the wriggle free one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you get the option to re-roll, don't you? If you've got re-rolls left, I guess. So
yeah.
All right. I don't think they've got any stadiums. No. And yeah, so it's a fairly basic Goblin team. Okay, the next one we'll have a look at is the next experienced team, which is the Orc team. So this is Orchestra of Doom, Billy Bantam. Again, looking at his roster, and I think when we last looked at his stats, he'd won 1, drawn 1, and lost 3. So it's not very well developed at the moment. We've got, in fact, there's only one level up, I think, which is a Blitzer who's got tackle, which is perfectly fine pick for a Blitzer. He's only got 3 Blitzers, so I think one did die. 4 Black Orcs, all unskilled, and then excuse me, a thrower as well. So yeah, anything to comment on this, Static, for the Orc team?
Not really. Looks like a perfectly fine Orc team. I guess how the team develops will depend a bit on the first 2 game modes, whether he will be able to replace the Blitzer. But he has everything else he needs.
Yeah, he's
40K. He played a few games. He played a few games last season though, and he's not won one, if I remember rightly. So that's it doesn't. That's the reason his team isn't very. What's the word? Isn't very built yet.
Yeah.
He has lots of orcs that are very close to leveling up, so the development of the team could flip very quickly.
That's true.
Okay. Well, good luck, Billy. The next one is an undead team. It's fairly high in this division. It's got TV of 1100. Again, let's have a look at the roster when it comes up. So this is Kanuki's Get Goth, which is a great team name. So what have we got here? We've got the only skill we've got so far is a guard zombie, which is again great. I mean, I guess that's where the extra TV comes from. If you do roll a double on a zombie, I think that's your only choice, isn't it? Is guard, to be honest. I don't think.
Yeah, you're not going to give them mighty blow or anything, or dodge. I don't know. A blodge zombie might be all right.
You might want to set them up as foulers, but I think it's a bit early in the league for that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I mean, they get free access to Dirty Player, but you know.
Oh right, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got general access for dirty, and again the received wisdom for foulers is you put it on a skeleton because they got slightly better movement, but yeah.
So you've got more fouling range.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's so early, really, with these teams. There's not much to say really. He's got running 3 ghouls. Yeah, neither mummy's got any SPP yet, and the whites are fairly undeveloped as well. So yeah, not much else to say really. Again, a fairly standard build, 3 rerolls. Yeah, nothing else to say. I don't think they've got any. Yeah, no stadium upgrades, and they got 70k in the bank. So yeah, fairly standard. Okay, was there any other teams that we looked at last time, Corn Knight, that we need to talk about again?
Can
you remember?
Well, there are 2 Chaos teams with the right build, which one of them is going to be one of my picks because they also have a nice uniform, which I think is important.
The all-in white one, the goofy.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Melbourne Storms, is it? All in white.
Yeah, definitely. Well, whoever it is, they're in white.
Okay.
Totally should, totally good choice.
Okay. Yeah. Standard chaos build. Got 4 warriors. The rest beast, 3 rerolls. Yeah, there we go. Early days, but there we go. And Lava Jackal says he had a guard stand firm zombie once, which is pretty good, I guess. Second double though, probably would have picked dodge, but yeah.
I mean, on a was that on an undead team or a necro team? Because
he didn't say. I think it probably an undead team, but.
There's like essentially a third, what's it? Flesh golem, not unuseful.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was on an undead team, but until he types in the chat, I can't see. But anyway, zombies I've known and loved for definite. Okay, and of course we should talk about your team, Static, your Elfin Union team. So yeah, do you want to talk us through that?
Well, I don't think there's much talking about this. I'll be trying the usual elf bullshit. Try to catch balls I shouldn't be able to catch, make dodges I shouldn't be able to make, and
I would like you to make one comment, which is, can you explain the naming? So they're all chemicals, right? They're all elements.
Yes.
Are they all like what? Was there a reason for those ones? Are they the Latin names? Or something, because Orium is gold, right? And Blumbeam is lead.
Yes. All the others should be the normal chemical names. I basically had a random number generator pick from the periodic table of elements,
Nice.
and it rolled a bit high, so
did roll high.
most of these are rather uncommon.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Mendelevium. I think Mendelevium's going to do very well.
Yeah.
I think Argentum should be silver.
Yeah, I guess there's a translation issue there as well. So is it Argentum in German?
No, Argentum is Latin.
Oh, okay.
Although I might have gotten the ending wrong.
Sorry, not Ori. Oh, wait, so Orium.
No, Aurum is gold.
Aurum's gold.
Yeah, that's what I thought. By the way, I studied chemistry. Just my degree was chemistry, so I should know what some of those things are.
I mean, once you get past 70, well, I guess 79 gold still has applications, but everything in the triple digits, probably very low half-life.
Yeah, it lasts about 10 seconds. Or less.
Yeah, lots of things that only humans and stars have ever made, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is our first Union team. So yeah, I guess we will be watching it, see how it does. again, I think what I like about Union, which I'm surprised more people don't choose them, but I mean the blitzers are clearly markers and the captains have got nerves of steel. So I think the most passing orientated elf team.
Yeah, well, as I
Even
said,
quite good
Elven
as well.
bullshit.
Yeah, well, I hope to see a lot of 3-4 nils then, if that's the.
I hope you don't get any induced in the first game with having no Apo as well. I think that's
Well, I think that's very optimistic.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean AV7. I mean, there's not that much mighty blow out there, but yeah, you only need a few bad rolls and then it's all over. Right, so I'm going to press the button and we're going to start. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, I don't want to seed it, so it's off. And I'm happy to say that you, Static, are playing the Goofy Hoof and Corny Corn, which is, I believe, one of the Chaos teams. First of all,
It is, yes.
Excellent. That's probably one of the best.
Yeah, that's
teams for you
not
to face,
bad.
isn't it?
Match.
Unskilled Chaos.
It's very reasonable. No block, no mighty blow, no
no skills
tackle.
of any kind.
No,
Just horns.
nothing, just horns.
And the big guys, well, I guess they're probably the best big guys to get in the beginning, even if they're not real big guys.
Oh, what you mean, the Minotaur?
No, the Chaos Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. Well, that's quite a good result. So let's just see who the Chaos Dwarfs have got. Because we like that build. So that was.
No, that build is awful. He's got the Minotaur,
awful.
And he's only got 4 dwarves.
Okay, so yeah, Minotaur, 2 bulls, 1, 2, 3, 4 dwarfs, and a lot of hobs. Okay, 2 rerolls, really?
Yeah. Well,
Two
that's
rerolls.
what happens when you take the Minotaur. So lots of people talk about how bad the Minotaur is on the Chaos Dwarf team, but it's mostly actually that that you have to get rid of a lot to get him, right? And it's not worth the things you lose for that.
Yeah, he's an interesting choice, but they've got Necroman City, which is also a great team name. First game, so yeah, that's Yannick. So he's he's quite an experienced coach. So okay, so do you want to make any predictions, Static? What do you think? Who's going to be in the top 2, top 3?
I really wanted to give it to the Goblins, but seeing as they are very high TV at the moment, I could see them lacking in the bribe department.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Get Goff has a good shot at winning it, but he's doing very well, and both Chaos teams, I think, even though they're not developed yet.
Yeah, they could have a good run just on the pure sort of strength and AV8, AV9 that they have. I mean, Lava, I know you're watching, or I think you're still watching. So if you want to make any predictions as well, that would be interesting. I mean, a team we didn't really talk about is the Norse team, and again, I think at this level, this TV, Norse are going to do particularly well because they've got block everywhere. So, Norse for me, I think should be up there as well. I think. And then the other one, just because I know he's a great coach, and again a former winner of the RPS sort of back in the day on BB1 is Yannick. Necroman City is Necromantic team, so I think they'll do.
So when you and Ethelred were talking about the name coming back, that's because that was his team name before. I didn't realise.
I'm not sure. I can't. To be honest, it's so long ago, I can't remember. But
okay.
But anyway, I think he'll do well because I know he's a good coach. I mean, there's a lot of new names here, so I don't mean to disparage anyone else, but yeah, I know Yannick is good, and you're good as well, of course, Lava. And his prediction is just for violence, which I suppose is it's very accurate. Okay, so let's have a look at Paper Division 2. So again, I think we've got one team missing from this one, which is. Still the Kislev team. So it's Harlequin09. So I'll send him a message on Discord. But basically, if he doesn't register today, then we'll put the admin team in and get them going. Unless we've got any volunteers to to replace that with a another Kislev team, which is a shame really, because I don't think there's any Kislev teams carrying on into Rock this season. We'll have to check in a minute, but yeah, I don't think there's any carrying on, so that's a bit of a shame. But Corner, I know you got strong feelings on Kislev's team, so yeah, what do you think?
Oh well, well, they're awful. They're like, they start with no useful skills at all. No block, no dodge, no wrestle, no pass, no catch. Like even their catchers are like the diving catch as a catch skill is not a great choice. I'm not a fan. To put it mildly. I mean,
I've never played them, so I don't really know. But Static, have you any experience with them at all?
I only played them during the closed beta, I think it was.
Right, sure, yeah.
And not a fan. Sums it up pretty nicely. Could see them pretty dangerous.
They're a hard team to play, and what I always end up doing is leaping myself to death by doing a leap, landing on my face. It seems to happen more with leaps than dodges. Even like I don't know why. Maybe it's because leaps everywhere you really want to leap or something. But yeah.
Well, you also don't have skills to reroll it. And I think you can team reroll it.
Yeah, you can totally team reroll it.
You don't get a skill like dodge.
No.
I mean, the only thing that I've heard is if and when they do get developed, because the Blitzers have got great access to. Is it GAS they've got access to? General agility and strength.
They're like one of only 2 players who do.
They can become absolute beasts, but I suppose you've got to get them there first. And with AV7 and like you say, no dodge, no block or anything at the beginning, it's tough. But I don't know, maybe in some of the larger leagues, like the OCC, maybe in Rebel and the Twitch leagues, we'll see some good, well-developed Kislev teams. But yeah, with our league structure, I think it will take a long time for them to get good, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that in the Twitch league, I'm in the same division as Sage, and he's playing them very well.
Sure.
Let's say far better than I could.
Absolutely.
But I think they're definitely a team for the better coaches. Let's say.
Hello.
Oh. It's like voice. You snuck up behind us.
It is.
I have a question. People who are better coaches, how did he start up as Kislev? What's the magic sauce?
Oh, I think there isn't a one build. So some people say you need a croc, some people don't. It's not. There isn't one build for Kislev.
For those who don't know, I am heliocentric. Thank you.
It's okay. We gave you a good introduction earlier, so you'll have to go back on that one. I mean, I'm just looking at the Dancing Russians, the team that's been put in. He's gone for a 3 blitzer 2 catcher build.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read a bit about them, and I think BB Tactics says 4 blitzers that you want to start with at least, and then maybe 1 catcher. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm very inexperienced with them, so.
I mean, the AG4 on the catchers means you're leaping on a 2+, but the strength 2 means you're probably not going to be blitzing cages with the catchers.
No.
But I do like 5 positionals is good because you're pretty likely to get MVPs on them, whereas the Crocs build is basically 2 blitzers and a Crocs, I think, and obviously you're not going to get very many MVPs when you've only got 2 blitzers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Helio, we're looking at Paper Division 2, if you got them up.
Yes.
We've got Static on the line as well.
Yes, so welcome. It's good to get some fresh blood, given that we're doing this for the second time.
Exactly. So
yeah.
So I think the main talking point we had last time, Static, was looking at the Killers of Cain, the Dark Elf team. And again, there was I mean, I don't want to say the word controversy because it's storming a teacup if anything, really. But we did have a player purchased in the off season this time through the market, and that player, which we all know, we all love, we all hate.
This is totally worthy of the word controversy.
Yeah,
by the
well,
way.
it's controversy for us, I guess. So it's Friedrich Nietzsche. We got him as jersey number 1 on the Clears of Cain, and his skill set, if you didn't know, Static, is blodge, mighty blow, tackle, and jump up.
Wait, for it to be controversy, people need to disagree on it. Do we disagree?
Yes, I disagree vehemently.
What do you disagree with?
Just generally about most things.
Oh.
But no. But in this case, I do think, like, okay, fluff wise, you wouldn't have a player who's on 60 whatever SPP, relegating himself from the Premiership and putting himself, in Ryman's Division 1 or whatever the equivalents are. And it is going to be unbalanced. He's going to be facing teams whose only skills on some players are dodge and stunty.
So you're complaining that Nishi has pulled him down to the depths and is holding himself there, even though there's an alternative.
Well, what is the alternative? Sorry.
Well, he could have stayed. He resisted oblivion of getting a team deleted. So he has self-determination.
Yes, this is only his only chance, really, or he's gone, isn't he, forever? So
that's an interesting, almost metaphysical argument.
I mean, it's in character.
Yeah. You're right. That's good. I like that. Strong argument. Yeah.
I can believe he would have just accepted the abyss because,
because he lived on a mountain for a while, like a nutter.
Yeah. Love horses. Static. If one of your countrymen, obviously. What's your take?
Well, I mean, it's still within the rules, and using the rules to their utmost seems to be very in spirit with Blood Bowl.
It might not be in the rules next season.
Well, yes, that also seems to be in the spirit of Blood Bowl. The other thing is, he only has 2 rerolls.
Yeah.
He is currently missing a Blitzer and a lineman.
Yeah.
So he's going to have
2 journeymen.
Yeah,
and
2 journeymen, yes.
10-7 CTV.
Yeah.
And he's going to be giving a lot of inducements. And I suspect Nietzsche is going to
be the target of some fouling.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, essentially what I wanted to say, which I didn't really have a chance to last time, was to say to every team in Paper 2 is like, you're going to get basically a free wizard when you play this team. And if anyone needs a lightning bolt in the face, and it's Nietzsche. So, just putting it out there.
Well, the thing is, 150k could also be Dorfer Longstride, for example, or Puggy Baconworth.
Yeah.
I mean, that I'd still rather have Nietzsche than either of those two.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe Edril Sidewinder would be a game winner of similar quality.
I mean, he's a hitter, isn't he? I mean, that's what it's going to be used at. He's going to be a killer for Svaho, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a controversial team. The rest of them aren't as controversial. The only other experienced team in there is Bones R Us from Puppers. They're an 11-20 undead team, and they'll be 11-60 once their skeleton's either replaced or fired. So a movement 4 skeleton. I mean, quick poll: Coordinate, fire or keep. Movement 4.
Fire him. He's don't bother.
Yeah. Helio, you probably keep him.
I'd foul with him on the first turn.
Yeah. And Static, what do you think?
He's dead already. Get him out of the team.
Yeah, get rid of him. Yeah. So he's got 90k in the bank. Everyone else is looking pretty rosy. So yeah, I'd suggest to.
I wouldn't truly
sell him.
keep him on an undead team just because of the how disposable money is.
Well,
Certain
yeah,
just floating money.
yeah, and they've got 40k. Like they've got enough money to pay for him. Why not replace him?
Yeah,
Actually, I wouldn't even replace him. You've got 3 skeletons. I'd get rid of him and replace him with a zombie.
Yeah, I'd only ever. I mean, my point of view on undead teams is just one skeleton for fouling. That's it, because of the AV7. You want the rest of the guys just to be hit. So yeah, I'm more of a zombie guy. I think with undead rather than skeletons, but you know, that's just me. This is controversial team because it's got the AV8 ghoul. And again, we discussed a bit last time, which didn't. The recording didn't survive, but yeah, I mean, I never would have given Michael AV8.
Sorry for that.
And I think you both agreed, but Static, I mean, do you agree with that?
I don't think there are very many good AV picks.
No.
Like maybe as like on a witch elf or on a war dancer that already has his core skill set, but otherwise I can't really think of a player I'd take plus AV.
No.
The thing is, he had the role. He could have been movement 8. I mean, this is something we didn't talk about last time. A movement 8 ghoul is a bloody good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, movement's so much better than AV.
Yeah.
For
movement
a lot,
8
definitely one of them.
You were saying Static.
movement 8 anything is amazing just because very few things can actually catch you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
being able to put a ball on that thing is even better.
Yeah, I mean, again, you don't see it very often with undead, but that's your one turner as well. If you do have a movement 8, that's only two pushes, I think, which is fairly achievable, I think, with an undead team, especially
because you follow get the ghoul sidestep.
Yeah,
that can make things a bit easier.
Absolutely. The other great player on this team is the Mummy. He's got block, which is fantastic. That's the first double, so that's a great player to have. Mummies obviously don't have any nega traits apart from movement 3, but even so, that's fantastic. Mummy, I think we'll see some good plays from that one.
The thing with a mummy is past grab and guard. There's not much they really need.
No, true.
And if I had the policy that once I got to 31 SPP without a double, I just fired them and hired another one because you had the money.
Yeah, and with undead, I think mostly you do have the money these days. So, okay. Yeah, Static. Well, you got.
I just realized we also only have 2 rerolls.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Has got a short hands ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that takes care of the most important reroll.
Unless he gets taken out in the first turn.
Yeah, by rock, which has happened to me, which is unpleasant. But yeah, I mean it's not likely though, is it? But yeah, it can happen, I guess. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, so I another reroll, I think, and yeah, fire the skeleton. I think is the key thing to take away from that one. The rest of the teams, again, we've got. I mean, again, Corn Knight, you raised an interesting point last time we spoke, which is that because Shuriban, who sold Nietzsche originally, has got a necromantic team. He could get Nietzsche back as a zombie, which would be fantastic, I think.
Awesome, absolutely amusing.
I mean, that would be how legends are made, really, in the RPS. So I hope they are playing each other, and I hope they do. I hope that does happen. Off a foul, preferably, but yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I'll take him off a thrown rock.
Yeah, that's right. Would you get him as off a rock though?
Yeah, anything that kills.
Anything that kills, and you're in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one to look at again, and it's only because it's the only one I think in the entire league is we've got a Bretonian team again in paper 2. So this one is a 2 reroll build, but it's got all positional. So we've got 4 blitzers. Or knights, is it? I can't remember. And then the 4 blockers or yeomen, and then just the 3 peasants as well. So, I mean, 8 of those players have got a defensive block or stroke wrestle skill, so that's pretty good. So I don't suppose you need too many rerolls, but
And that's to discount Fend entirely.
Yeah.
No, I mean Fend breaks formations. Fend, halts advances.
It is great.
Yeah,
I mean, it's massively underrated. But the AG2, the AV7 AG2 peasant just die like no one's business. And
once one of them gets blocked.
Yeah. Once they get blocked, they're a little bit more survivable. And once you get a bench with a few extra of them, so you can foul with them, they're pretty cool. Put Fend on on the knights as well. It becomes immensely amusing and irritating to the other team.
Yeah, it just breaks up loads of stuff, doesn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll do well and they'll go into Rock next season. We'll come to your team in a minute, Helio. We need to talk about that as well. We've got another undead team, and then we have a quick look at the halfling teams. He was in paper last season. It's a brand new halfling team this time round. So standard build, 2 treemen, 11 halflings.
That's a mad loud typing.
2 rerolls as well. So fairly standard.
I mean, 2 rerolls on a halfling doesn't mean what it means on most teams.
No.
They're still expecting a chef.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that could, it's an average of 4 rerolls most matches, drives rather. But still 2 just in case things go a bit dodgy and you get 0 on the roll.
So, which may have happened to you in recent reroll halfling games.
Yeah, I took 1, and now I was like, I definitely got the chef, but if the chef abandons you for both halves, it's a rough match.
It's tough.
On the other side, we've got a number of teams with only 2 rerolls, so they could find themselves with 0.
Yeah.
Not too unlikely.
Yeah, it's quite. I think actually a lot of the beginner teams have 2 rerolls.
I mean, if you catch yourself with 0 against the halfling team with even a handful of skills, like if you get even a little bit of extra level ups, the halflings become quite dominating because they can just swarm all over you, and they've got spare players.
Yeah.
For next to nothing.
And especially as at this level, there's not much tackle either. So again, it's quite you can ride those pushes and you can ride those defender stumbles as well quite easily.
Ethelred, did you make a determination on how many seasons people can be in paper if they don't get above 120?
Yeah, it's 2. So they can only be in paper for 2 seasons.
Right. So I mean, the smart move for him would be to stay there, try and get a few core skills.
Absolutely. I mean, for halflings, I guess what you're really hoping for is an AG4 fling, because then just one turning is so easy. Well, a lot easier.
Or the block tree.
Yeah, or the block tree. Both of which, I don't know, over 5 games. I mean, you could over 10 games if you stay in paper for 2 seasons. I mean, that's not unlikely, I don't think.
I mean, the trees get triple dice blocks, every single drive, pretty much, and then because of the mighty blow, it's a significant chance of breaking. And then you've got the, you can still, even if you're against a normal team, as if you stay aggressive with halflings, you can still get those CS blocks just by getting the assistant. And if you get a guard tree, you can do it even in the face of adversity.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I mean, he's also got 260 in the bank as well. So he
needs to burn some of that.
Yeah, almost definitely going to spend that in his first game to get chef or deep root maybe, just to guarantee that first game as a win. I mean, I'd hate to face deep root if I was some of these other teams for my first game. It'd be an absolute nightmare. So I guess we'll move on to your team, the Blackleburn Rerollers, Helio. Over to you, and then me, Core Knight, and Static can quiz you on this, I guess. So
I mean, the key thing in this team is its diversity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the different faces that really make a difference, I think.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have bandages, and some of them have grey beards. And
I'm actually kind of disappointed with the different faces. I think you should have gone for the monocles across the team. It feels like a waste to me.
I've not gone the typical BB tactics approach, but they're still dangerous. And I was kind of tempted. Excuse me. I'm still kind of tempted to sell a player and get that for free roll, but just because I can't, picking up the ball is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
well,
4th reroll.
Kenry do it though,
an
don't they?
89.
Kenry
Yeah, but they have sure hands guys, and
But your players have access to get sure hands, you know, on a skill early. So I did recommend this build, and I do quite like it. So it's a kind of comedy build, but it's not actually as bad as you instantly think. But the thing it does teach you is like positioning, and surrounding the ball with 2 or 3 Longbeards before you pick it up, and then wandering down the field isn't actually that hard to do once you kind of get good at it. It's more actually defending against the other team that's the issue with an all Longbeard team. Once they get past you, you're in trouble. So
unless
you really
you've set up that back screen.
Yeah, so you need to really set up a strong back screen, and obviously that helps when you start getting stand firm on players and guard all over the place. But it's actually, I mean, they're a bad team, but they're not like all peasant or all hobgoblin levels of bad.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I mean, my temptation is to lean heavily into pro, because that becomes kind of like a de facto ball handling skill. Because if I felt like if I had a sure hands guy, he would get targeted, and I'm pretty much playing a normal dwarf team at that point.
Well, also, like, why have you got 12 dwarves? How many games do you think you're going to lose one of your AV9, thick skull players?
Honestly, I was looking at 3 rerolls and thinking, oh, that's probably enough, and then just bought players till I ran out of money.
And it's going to be fouling every turn as well, Core Knight, isn't he? So he's going to lose.
Only if there's a good target. I mean, because I'm fielding 70k players. If I get a war dancer, yeah, I'll be fouling him. But I can't commit the boots because I'm not fast enough.
No, that's true. You'd be really pulled out of position if you did go for a big gang foul, because movement 4 you'd be.
I mean, unless I'm already holding the ball and the ball carrier's in the mix of this massive blob of players, and a couple of them have guard, then go ahead. But there's not going to be that much fouling, at least until the team's developed. And so, I mean, it's kind of navel gazing. I don't know why I've got 12. I said before, I may well delete one, sit on the money, buy a stadium upgrade. I don't know. So it's kind of.
So you are going to need the rerolls for picking up the ball, and
I might even.
I do think you're gonna replace. You should replace that Longbeard with another reroll, basically.
Yeah, and I'll sit me with a little bit of extra cash, which will, if there are freak accidents and I need to replace the player, then it's there.
I mean, you could get an apothecary, and just in case something happens.
I mean,
especially for the player.
Are you?
Helio,
are you? Sorry, Corner. Are you tempted to get a death roller and have some like sort of weird stunty team?
It was just against the ethos of what I was trying to create. I mean, I may merc a death roller if when I go into rock, if I stay with this team, and I've got some team values to throw around. But I think the idea is just stay with Longbeards.
Okay. And Static, what do you think?
Well, I think dropping one Longbird and getting one teamy roll would have been fitting, but it's certainly debatable.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and then
Helio, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's probably the move. I mean, I wanted to look at who my first opponent was before I decided on the makeup. Like if I was facing something quite fierce, like a second season Norse team or something, then I might have thought, oh, you know what, I think I need another player. But it's 4 rolls makes a lot of sense. Even if I don't use them all, it's having them. It's like when you save a fireball is effective until you use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's kind of like a reroll is as soon as you see the opponent has no reroll, it's like, oh look, his pants just fell down. He now can't run, and it's kind of like those kind of that vulnerability that he can't reliably go for it. He can't reliably dodge. All those things start to come into view. So I think I'm used to agility 2 dodging. Like I used to play a lot of undead, and dodging the zombies was something that came up because it was the last thing you did. But it was still useful, and often it helped you win games.
It's still a 4+, isn't it? So it's a 50-50 play.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So
And if you've managed to, if you're swimming in rerolls and it's near the end of the drive, it's better than 50-50.
yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
there's not much more to talk about with them.
No, I mean the final two teams to talk about really are just because they've got great names. We've got Syntax Terror, which I think we all agree is a great name, and then Pundead, but an undead and necromantic team, each of those. So yeah, so well done. Again, they're very new teams, so there's nothing really that exciting about them. Necro is 2 rerolls, 2 werewolves, 2 golems, 2 whites, no ghoul, which I guess is maybe controversial, but again, they die so easy. You want your werewolves carrying the ball, I guess, so that makes sense. And then the undead team, again, is a fairly standard 2 mummy, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, and the rest zombies on that one as well. So again, nothing too crazy there.
We did speak briefly about how naked the early the Greenbelt Guardians seemed, with only 1 catcher and no tree.
Yeah.
But when we had this drawn out conversation about the 0 team reroll Wood Elves,
yeah,
which is which for anyone who's listening is the counterpoint to the full Longbeard team instead of 2 extremes of competent teams, sort of made challenging but still competent.
Yeah,
Still completely meaningful teams, even ideal in some ways, but competent rather than deadly.
Yeah, absolutely. Static, have you run a 0 reroll Wood Elf team?
No, I haven't.
Well, you can buy every single positional.
Yeah, 2.
Well, the
2
first thing I'd
throwers.
have to do is buy the Wood Elf expansion.
Ah. Do you which teams do you have?
I have
do you
everything
just have the basic?
except the pre-legendary DLC.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'd have to buy them as well.
That's yeah. So commonly lizards, wood elves, chaos dwarves. They're 3 of the strongest teams out there, I think.
And you have to buy them.
And you have to buy them. And they were. You have to buy them if you didn't buy the game early on. Is an important disclaimer to that, because I got them free.
Yeah, I got them free because I'm a sap as well. So okay, so all that remains to be done is we'll give this guy who's called Harlequin09. I think he's on the Discord as something else. He's got a few different names, so we'll give him a bit longer, basically next couple of hours to join up. Otherwise, we'll put another AI team. The AI team I'm going to add now, drum roll please, is...
1 second. We are currently at 10 teams. Do we need an AI team if he
We
doesn't
have 1 guy who's invited, the Dancing Russians.
Yeah, and it's a division of 12, so we
can't start without you.
No, we definitely need 1 AI, and it's Helio's favourite team type, which is Amazons.
Well, I mean,
quick look.
I don't have a particular bias against them, but I am playing Dwarf, so they would.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Pretty much the best team for Helio, in fact.
I mean, I'd accept Halflings also.
Yeah, so again...
personally, I hate Amazons. They are so boring. I think they're more boring than dwarves. I'd rather play an all Longbeard dwarf team than any number of Amazon teams.
You want to just have a long hard look at yourself on one of these days, and say that.
They've all got exactly the same stat line. Everyone is 6'3", whatever, with dodge. It's just they no big guy, nothing. No throw teammate.
It's you got to be creative in your plays, then, haven't you? It's more of a pure level of football when you're playing with everyone the same, aren't you? So
I find the entire team where they're 6. I know I just said that I like the idea of a Longbeard team, but a 6 team feels really slow.
I mean they are slow. It is hard. But the AI has gone for a fairly, again, standard build for Zons. So he's gone for 4 blitzers, which I think is essential for Zons, really. 1 catcher, 1 thrower, and then the rest linos. 4 rerolls. I think when I when I built mine initially, I went for 3 rerolls and I had 2 catches, I think. But yeah, that's the only difference I had. I
Is the
think.
TV bug still prevalent?
Well, we just
No,
checked
it looks
the other
like they
one
fixed
and
it.
No, I mean this
pretty
one
much
has
fixed.
no level ups to speak of, so we
No,
can't.
no.
tell.
The other AI team had a level up and
Ah.
was at 1010. So it actually had a TV higher than 1,000.
See, this
so,
is
yes.
what happens when I'm not on time. I'm not
Yeah,
misinformed.
you didn't break it, so yeah, that was good. Okay, so so thank you everyone. That was the paper highlights. Are we all good to carry on to look at rock?
Yeah, of course.
We need predictions.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well remembered. Yeah, good point. So I'll just bring up the teams again. So Static, as you remembered, you can go first. Well, I disappeared to the fridge to get a beer. So yeah, keep talking.
Well, I think Halflings have a good shot with seeing how many teams opted for 2 rerolls only.
So would you put
I'm
them in the
hoping-
top 3?
Well, I'm hoping for it because it will be hilarious if the chef just decides games because people decide to be greedy.
Okay. Next.
I'm gonna if we're just picking one, I'm totally going for your long bid team just to be kooky and different.
I mean, for a stable, reliable team, if there was a lot of bad rerolls, and I mean,
I think you're going to get drawn first against the Amazons and farm so many SPP from them that the rest of the league will just be so easy.
there is a conundrum there because everyone else who plays them will be playing an AI team with like 4 players.
Yeah, but they'll be full of loner Amazons, right? So they
they're
won't
actually good
even
players. Yeah,
exactly.
still dodge like bosses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Helio, what do you can't bet for yourself probably. So what do you think?
No, actually, I wouldn't in this case. I think if Zvaho can make use of Niji, they will be dominant in so many games. But I don't think he's going to survive the season. I think he'll craft the team into success and then die.
Yeah.
So I think that they will be promoted. I think I would have picked them to win, but I don't think he'll survive the season. I think somewhere game 3, game 4, he'll get gang fouled or hit by a tree or something, and that'll just be it. And then end of season for him.
End of season, yeah. That is the fairy tale, isn't it? The veteran player goes to join a younger team and then sort of dies in just before the 3rd reel of the film. So yeah, I guess that's.
I'm thinking more David Beckham going to play for one of the Japanese teams, or the LA Lakers.
Absolutely.
Like that kind of thing. It's like and then having like, the horrible hip injury or something, and I think he's an old man now.
But you got to, I guess. Svaho, if you do listen to this, then if he does get niggled, you just got to keep him until he's dead. He wouldn't leave the field anyway. He'd want to play on. So, okay, and I'm going to go for to show racial appreciation. I'm going to go for the Wood Elf team because I have a soft spot for them. And I know it's a bit of a weird build. There's no tree there, but yeah, I think they're gonna do well. They're very good at low TV.
Fast, agility 4. There's still a lot to speak well of there. Wood Elves are basically what if Skaven teams could be all gutter runners and they all had strength 3. Apart from the catcher.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should mention a all gutter runner team with strength 3 because I think one of them is coming up in a bit later. But okay, so. That's paper. If we're all good to go, I've got my lovely Peroni on the go now. So we'll look at Rock, and we'll look at Rock Division 1.
Now, these 1 and 2 is not sequential. These people are not better. They just got picked first.
Yeah. So
nepotism.
It was nepotism.
Says Helio in paper 2.
Yeah. There's one.
Oh wait. I'm in Rock 2, aren't I? Okay, no, ignore that.
Yeah, there's one coach who's displeased me who hasn't signed up, and that's Mork69. So again, Mork, we'll send you a message again tonight, but really you need to apply as soon as possible, else you'll be replaced by an AI.
Can we have a preliminary AI?
Sorry.
One at a time. Come on, gents.
I was going to say, can we look at his team because I love his mutation thrower transference thing.
Okay, we'll have a quick look at his team if I just get it up. So yeah, Federated Mutants. Yeah, there's some good guys there. So which one do you like? The Movement 8 thrower.
I like the fact that clearly Mork has taken has used some surgery to take movement from one thrower onto the other. I think that's worth pointing out.
Yeah, so one's gone down from movement to movement 6, and the other's gone up to movement 8. So yeah, some sort of
chopped a little bit of his leg off to put it on the other one.
the other one. Which is
I mean, they're actually for Rock, they're not a very developed team, are they? So they might find it hard, especially against those the orcs that have just been demoted.
Yeah,
it's a lot of team value for a team with 6 goblins.
Yeah.
He has 14 players.
I mean, no, yes. I mean, that's the right thing to do. He's
7 goblins.
You want 14 players because you will be losing goblins left, right, and centre, like during games. So they're there to keep your other Skaven alive, right? So,
they're at capacity, aren't they? It's 2 blitzers, 2 throwers, and 2 linemen. That's the full brief.
Yeah. You wouldn't play unless you're playing an actual stunty underworld. You wouldn't play them without all 6. Skaven and the troll because they get really weak. They're like crappy goblin team basically without.
Yeah, I mean both blitzers got mighty blow, which is pretty good. And they have strength access from the get go, don't they? So you'd go claw
and mutation. So they're like one of the few, and so I think they're the only player that starts with block and has access to claw mighty blow. Okay. Which is
werewolves obviously starting with the claw,
but don't have mighty blow access.
Yeah, mighty blow access now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yetis? No, don't get general.
Don't
surely someone else.
Start with.
Oh wait,
no one else. I mean, there are other people who have access to strength and mutation and can build themselves into killers and general, but there's no one that starts with one of the skills that they need.
Right. Does no one start with claw that has GS?
Nope. The only claw players, Yeti, and the werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So if we start in the top left, then we'll talk about each of these teams in a bit more detail because there's a bit more to say about some of these. So if we look first then at top left, which is the Orc team, which was relegated last season from the champ, so it's a 1870 Orc team. And I think the first thing to notice about this team is just they got a very strange build, very strange direction. So it's 15 players, which is odd in itself, because I would normally, I think the received wisdom, isn't it? It always to leave 2 spots for stars, and he hasn't in this case. And then we've got some weird picks on the individual players as well. So we've got got no mighty blow there at all. We've got a bit of tackle, which is fine. And yeah, we've got 2 strength increases. So one's a thrower with sure hands and blodge, which is great, I guess. And then the other one is a lineman with strength 4, agility 2, but he's got frenzy as well, which we all know is the thinking man's tackle. So yeah, just some odd picks there, wouldn't you say, Static? Helio, what do you think? Static, go first.
Static, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit speechless because this is going to be very hard to remember all these skills.
I do think he works on the idea of confusing his opponents to a certain degree.
I mean, there is not too weird things out there. It's not like he has pass block or anything. I think the weirdest one is, well, I guess grab is pretty standard. He will be giving away massive amounts of TV each game.
Yeah.
He'll be facing star players of some kind. But I could see it working. He's got lots of block, lots of guard. Probably the best team in the league.
I mean, the thing about giving lots, I mean, an obscene amount of team value is there's not a lot to spend it on. Once you pass like the first 300 points, you kind of go, yeah, okay, I've got the wizard, I've got the babes. What now? And people, this team will face Morg a lot, but they're equipped to take him on. Or maybe it'll be your Deep Root or the mummy, the 76 mummy with block.
Oh yeah,
Rama.
he's yeah,
Ramtut.
He's
They'll
got
end up-
to the third,
wrestle.
That's sorry.
and break tackle and
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
these are good players, but they all have loner, and that means you can mark them, and they can't always reliably get away unless it's an elf, like long stride or something. But then they're not that dangerous in terms of formation, and you still have your power base. He's got 3 guards. He's got a couple of strength freaks. He's got the Black Orcs, which strength freaks by design. He's got a dirty player goblin, which means he will be able to surround players.
He
And
also
if
has,
Go ahead.
he also has the rest area to go with it.
Yeah, he can control the pitch.
Oh, the referee's rest area, so he
Yeah,
gets a free bribe.
Yeah.
You get 3 bribes to go with the goblin.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Definitely.
I mean, I find it interesting that you're talking about him as a bashy team when he's got none of the like mighty blow piling on skills that that normally you'd see at least one killer blitzer in an orc team, and
Not even
it's not.
bashy. It's about pitch control. Mighty blow increases the chance you get something better than a stun, or that you break armor. You break armor once you've knocked someone down. But if the people are down, you can still move past them. Mighty blow doesn't stop you. The absence of mighty blow doesn't stop you controlling the pitch. It makes it hard to clear the pitch.
Yeah.
But you've still got dirty player with 4 or 5 assists passes for mighty blow once you've got someone down.
Yeah, it's a thinking man's mighty blow.
But I mean, yeah, it's just strange not to see an orc team with 1 killer on. But like you say, he got into the champs last season, so you can't really complain too much. I mean, he was pretty unsuccessful there, to be honest. But yeah, maybe he'll do better in Rock this year against other more bashy teams rather than the more agile teams. Okay. Anything more to say on that before we move on to the next one?
No, good.
Okay, so the next one is High Elf team. So it's the Falky Frogs by Laserbeam. And yeah, again, I guess fairly standard High Elf team. We've got some great players though. We've got a Strength 4 thrower, which is fantastic, and Movement 9 catcher with Wrestle, which is okay. And yeah, the rest are pretty standard. It's not particularly developed, but yeah, great base there. I think a lot of dodge, a bit of dodge there.
I mean, even a fresh out of the shop high elf lineman would be a star on any other team. On half of the other teams, non-elf teams, an elf is a star.
Yeah.
So they're not very well developed, but it'll come to them quickly. Everyone's got SPP. Like, there's not a player. Every player on the team has at least 1 level up, and then they'll still. The ones, some are built for dodging, some are built for hitting, but they're all able to move or hit someone. There's no one without at least block. Well, I say block or wrestle or dodge.
Yeah.
So everyone can disengage or take the fight to them. There's no one just stood. There's no naked lineman stood there hoping that they'd manage 2+ dodge because they haven't got a skill reroll or having to take a risky hit. They've all got. Because with wrestle, even a 1 dice block is still a 2+. If you're just trying to get them away from you to keep yourself safe, and you might get better than that.
It's a good point. Well, gentlemen, we're honoured. We've got Cyberpunk Dreams, the owner of the Orc team, in the chat. So.
Really?
He says we missed out his most important sidestep Black Orc. So I don't know if you've got any questions for him directly. And see
we did speak about him last time, and it's just expensive, stand firm. But I'm of the opinion it is a straight upgrade, because you stand him next to the corner of a cage, which not every team cage is, but if you stand him next to the corner of a cage and you dare to hit him, he's coming to the ball carrier. And
it's fair
if you know,
it's fair points. I mean, I guess my question to Cyber is there a plan? Is there a plan? You know, or is it just, or is there not a plan, or is it? Are you operating on a deeper level than I can imagine? So,
or maybe RNG.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, an RNG would be great to pick skills. I've always wanted to do that, but I think we would see a bit more like pass, block, and leap inappropriately on some of the.
If you seeded it properly and you say like half of the skills will just be block, you know, like if you say RNG doesn't have to mean every skill is even.
Yeah, true.
You could give it like a very, very kind of casual, you know, give like, you know, for doubles, dodge like 50% of the roll, you know, things like that.
So he's come back to me. He says there's the plan of no plan. So I guess that answers our question. So it's zen, very zen.
The best way to make sure that your opponent doesn't know what you're doing is to not know what you're doing either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sun Tzu said that.
Yeah.
Wild Drunk
said that. Exactly. Okay. Well, a bit distracted. I mean, just keep asking us or pointing out the brilliant parts of your plan side because it's interesting. But yeah, anything else to say about this high elf team? So Helio's essentially saying they've all got dodge, which is great, good for repositioning.
Well, all wrestle. They've all got something to do when they get marked.
Yeah.
Either an effortless dodge or hit them in the face with wrestle typically.
Yeah. So Static or Core Knight, have you got anything to add onto that?
I mean, this is basically what Helio's team should look like.
Yeah.
Yes. I should definitely have plus strength on my players.
Yeah. You should definitely have plus strength and not wrestle frenzy on your thrower, for example.
He's not a thrower in this team. Oh, no, it's the top of the strength, right?
The strength one.
I blanked and I was looking, where's the throwers? There's only one. I should probably only have one thrower as well, but you know, we won't ever die. So
No.
I quite like. I read something recently where there's a guy who runs elf teams where he always has two throwers and he gives one of them catch so that and then he gives the other one catch at a later stage. So essentially, they farm SPP to each other just continuously by throwing it backwards and forwards between them, which I think is kind of cute.
Yeah.
they should have dump off.
Yeah, then you can doubly farm them by just standing them at the other end of the pitch getting hit.
You say doubly? You could dump off like 4 or 5 times as long as you're sufficiently marked.
Well, no, you could. Yeah,
Nerves of
steel. And safe throw, I guess. Yeah, it's a plan of sorts.
Nerves of steel.
It's definitely
nerves of steel. So you know, it doesn't matter. But okay. Anyway, moving on from your dream build, Helio. What Static? you anything to say on this team, Static?
No, I like the build, and I think we'll do well in this league.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
next team is the first, I think, Chaos Dwarf team. So this is Narcs. Again, a bit to discuss on this one, and I think the main thing to discuss is they're pretty much broken in terms of 3 of his blockers have got AG1, which isn't that bad, I suppose, because they're never going to be ball handlers. But it's interesting that all 3 have got a minus AG skill. I mean, first of all, I guess because they're AV9, so it doesn't happen that often.
I mean, I did deliver one of these minus AGs, so I'm glad to stay in.
How did you deliver it, Helio? What was your method of?
Would you believe it was a failed dodge?
Oh. So
yeah, I tackled him.
He's one of those Chaos Dwarf players, is he? A dodging one, which
it was kind of a desperate last grab to get the ball off me.
Right.
But yeah, he didn't have a lot of call in that one. But it's. I still think that apart from the ones that have, I mean, none of them have doubles. They could all be, you know, if the money comes in. I guess the money might be a problem. I haven't seen what his. I think he said, "Oh, look, another 10k." After our match, and as soon as he gets out of the money hole, I think he could probably do with firing one of them and then slowly cycle new Chaos Dwarf blockers
new
back
blood
in.
in, definitely.
But there's no urgency. It's because, you know, they're still good players, but cycle out the, you know, the ones that paradoxically probably the most developed, because they'll be the ones that.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely want to claw on one eventually as well. I mean, he's got a mighty blow piling on one already, and he's one of the guys with a minus AG. So, yeah, I guess you do want to cycle them eventually as well. I mean, where do we all stand on a Minotaur on a Chaos Dwarf team? I mean, we'll come to my Chaos Dwarf team later, but I'm very much against them. I don't think.
I'm of the opinion once you're approaching 2K, just take it. It's not going to make any difference, and it might be awesome. He's wild animal, so even when don't blitz with him, just move him into position and hit when his people adjacent, and you get the triple dice. You get 2 chances at a hit. You've probably got lots of guard players to make sure you get that second assist. Second assist in the second block to get that triple dice again. And if he does wild animal, he's still marking the player. Like unlike every single other nega trait that a big guy has, he is still operational after like a bonehead ceases to function. Really stupid work ceases to function. Bloodlust goes off the pitch, but the or knocks out one of his teammates. But the wild animal keeps going.
Yeah, it doesn't get rid of his tackle zone, which is really important. I think. I guess the other controversy, maybe you banning that word around a bit too much, maybe is again I talked last time about the block and blodge hobgoblins, and again for me there's only one skill for them, which is dirty player. If you don't have that, then just get rid of them. To be honest, so that's what I think. But
I disagree with that. So.
Okay.
Sorry, chiming in a bit late here, but
No, that's fine.
yeah, I think the Minotaur's he's the worst Minotaur. You've already got 2 strength players. You've got a lot of dwarves. He's not really adding that much, I
mean, that's why I'm saying at 2,000 team value, he's just a brute. Whereas now he's a free wizard for the opponent.
Yeah.
Once you're at 2,000 team value, everyone's getting a wizard anyway. He can't do.
Yeah, not a fan. The AG stuff's just humorous. The fact that he's got 3 of them is he actually actively choosing them now? Is that really a thing?
Yeah,
it's the only way I can see.
3 of what? Sorry, I'm confused.
The minus AG.
AGs.
Yeah. So like is he appoing them and then choosing
minus AG.
the AG bust over minus strength because
I mean I guess with his finances being tight, maybe his other injuries were retirements.
Yeah.
And AG is just not a retirement. If you lose a strength point, retire them. You move a movement, we can barely even get up, retire them. If you lose an AV, they might as well be an elf, retire them. In terms of the fragility. Whereas it's an AG, you can go, okay, I'll buy another one later. I mean, I kind of want him to have some money to see what he does with it.
Yeah. I mean, money is low, definitely. Okay, Static, anything to add?
This team needs a better apothecary. Probably fire him and rehire another one.
Great points. All right, we'll move on to the next team. But before we do, we've got another message from Cyber. So he says, basically, he's not interested in standard builds, which we kind of guessed before. And he couldn't face having a troll after playing Gobos throughout the entirety of the Division of Death in Blood Bowl 1, which I remember it was a great Gobo player, to be honest, but I can see how that would get you down. And then, Helio, you're right. He says it's all about pitch control. So not necessarily getting rid of players, but controlling that.
I mean, that will happen when you're getting that many free dice blocks.
Yeah.
Because you've got so many assists, and you've got the guard moving around. And then you've got the fouls.
So there we go. Okay, well, we'll see how it gets on in the season. So the next one is our first Khemri team. It's Harrington.
Second place for best name.
Yeah, strictly Chem dancing, which is great.
This is best name for last year, right? This is
absolutely best name.
His name's on the trophy, in the 2016 line.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's only 1040 TV, so it's fairly undeveloped. I mean, we've got one Tomb Guardian with Mighty Blow. Mrs. Ethelred just coming in. She's probably going to run out in a minute. But yeah,
Does she know she's on? Does she know she's on camera?
Yeah, she knows she's on camera. She can see herself waving now. Those nerds, Matthew, you're talking to again. That's what she said. So yeah, Tomb Guardian with Mighty Blow, a Blitzra with Mighty Blow as well, and yeah, that's it for Skill Up so far. So it's a
the fun has not begun yet with this team.
No, absolutely.
There's a road to be taken before it can, get a few plus agility points on a Blitzra and kind of change the makeup of a team or things, freak things like that to happen.
Absolutely. I think if you get an AG on any of your positionals that isn't a Tomb Guardian, I think that's going to just completely change.
Actually, even AG and a Tomb Guardian's legit. Because if the Tomb Guardian picks up the ball,
AG 1 to 2, really?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't listen to Helio.
Tomb Guardian in the middle of the cage. Who's getting the ball off them?
Yeah, the movement 4, Helio. Come on.
So you only score 1 touchdown a game.
Well,
to be fair, he's playing a team which are all Tomb Guardians with strength 3. So
strength 4 is fast enough when you give yourself enough turns.
There's definitely some kind of logic in that.
But yeah, if any of agility 2 players be a skeleton, or anyone gets an agility, you take it, and then he becomes the focus of the team for the time being, till he eventually dies.
Yeah. So, yeah, insanity aside, 3 rerolls. A skeleton is probably going to sack. I think with movement 4. He's got 130k in the bank, so we can easily afford to do that. I don't know, maybe another skeleton, just for a bit of fouling action.
You don't want to field a journeyman.
No, you don't. So I don't know. Static. What would you get another skelly for fouling duty as well? Take him up to 12.
I'm actually considering firing the one with the minus movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And then would you get get 2, so you got a 12-man squad, so you could foul with.
Probably yes. There isn't much else to spend the money on, I think.
Yeah, because I didn't realize.
I'm not certain what the limit on throwers is, but I'm also not certain you'd actually want a
2
second
each.
one.
Yeah, you get 2. So.
It's very odd to start without 2 as well. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, possibly one was injured or died, but yeah.
I mean, he can buy one and a skeleton, be at 12, and have both throwers. He has the money.
So, Herring Zord, that's our advice to you. So, sack the skelly and, get a thrower on another one.
My advice is stream all your games. I want to watch.
I think
he's a streamer.
He's a streamer, isn't he? He's a streamer, I think, isn't he? Isn't he from RBBL? Re-BBL?
Rebel.
Yeah.
Oh, the Reddit Blood Bowl League.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say yeah.
Let's say yeah. Okay.
One more time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next team, Skaven. So, again, Coordinate, you're the expert here, I think. We've got a 1240 team. Again, fairly standard. What's nice here is that both Vermin have got Mighty Blow, but one's AG2, which I guess isn't too bad. The Gutters, again, fairly standard. We've got 2 with block, and then another one's got leap on top of that as well, which I think we spoke last time. We'd probably go wrestle instead of block if you've got a leaper. But yeah, over to you, Coordinate. If you're still there.
I mean. Yeah, sorry. I'm also playing at the moment, so I'm kind of not paying 100% attention. I apologise.
What's the
I've got a really important game going on at the moment. Sorry.
This is a problem. Cornite isn't faithful to RPS.
Yeah.
So he's
yeah. Well,
a Renaissance man.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good team. I would have put Wrestle on the gutter. I think that they're quite a low TV for this league, aren't they?
Yeah, 1240.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to see linemen with block on rat teams because people were telling me, "Oh, look, this is the perfect Skaven team, and every single lineman has nothing, and they're just going to get peeled apart." And then the gutters.
We haven't got to rock yet. Then
I know, but I mean, to me, this is. I can't imagine playing kind of seat in my pants quite that much. So a few lineman skills to me does start to feel more like a real team. Even if it's just like, carpet block and nothing else. Just so they can hold themselves together.
Yeah,
maybe.
Obviously, you want to get rid of the injury. And I'm not sure what's going on with the leap. The leap gutter still's a bit premature.
Yeah.
I'd like to see who my agility freak is and then give them leap.
And would you not go strip ball first rather than leap?
Well, I mean, leap comes after an agility roll. Strip ball is good for anyone. If good for a gutter, full stop.
Yeah.
But again, you can't expect to get the agility on top of the guy you poach strip ball on. But, I mean, the thrower's got block, so he can actually hold on to the ball for. I know this is not what people do. People just pick up the ball with the gutters and pass it to a gutter, and then they kind of wonder what the thrower's for. But the thrower's got block, so he's got free rolls. So yeah, he can just lean on the gutters. He could, the thrower does have a bit of a reduced roll.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I guess you want to be handing off with the thrower or short passing with him. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that he's got block, you can keep him fairly far back because his movement's 7, and then just feed one of the gutters really with a short or even a quick pass. Which, with throw, you're a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do.
But once a few gutters have skills, it's going to get a bit more hard to justify the thrower. If the thrower get that die, you probably just get a lineman instead.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he's got sure hand as well. So if he does come up against, the strip ballers, then yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Static. Any other comment on the rats?
Pretty much the things you've said already. The leap seems a bit overzealous, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess the block on the line rats is debatable, but I think considering how much developed teams he's going to be up against, it's going to be helpful this league.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking back at the team list in the division. I mean, obviously we've got Cyber's team, which is much higher than everyone else's, but the average is just a bit higher than him. So we've got again the high elves on 1490, Chaos Dwarves 1380, and then everyone else is sort of in the 1250, 1260 range. So yeah, it's not especially low, but it's not. I think the orcs, the high elves, and the Chaos Dwarves, they've got the highest TVs, but I think the high elves and the Chaos Dwarves are going to do particularly well because they're better at that TV than the others are better than the TV they're at, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, we'll look at the next team now, which is a vampire team. So this is Natat's Crimson Knights. Again, these come up from paper last season. I think from memory, 3-1-1 was their record there. So we've got four vampires, 3 with block, 1 unskilled. We've got an AG for Thrall and then a block Thrall. So I think, Helio, you were talking about vampires the most last time we spoke, I think.
I mean, just because there's no dodge and that. In fact, Static, have you played vampires yourself?
No. I was tempted to roll a team, but we already had enough of them.
Have you ever played against them? Because it's the point where they just start.
I have read up on the rules regarding Bloodthirst.
I mean, the most interesting skill is probably, one you're probably used to if you played Elves before is the Hypnosis. I mean, if you use a star player, I forget his name now.
Eldril,
Sidewinder. If one Hypnosis is the novelty, 6 of them can disable a cage, hit the ball carrier, and none of the people in the cage can even pick up the ball, catch the ball on a fumble because they just, because it disables them from catching. If people send catches into your backfield, you go over, hypnotize them, and now they can't catch the ball until after they've moved, which means they can't then catch the ball and score. So you have to try and get a long bomb to them. So you have to take a vampire team apart. It isn't enough to try and get around them. You have to mark them and let them hit you, which does bring block into focus. But without that dodge, the first vampire that goes over and does the hypnosis can't reliably, because he's going to probably eat a reroll and a bloodlust. And if he does that, then he still has to dodge. Because say if you bloodlust, you reroll it, fail, you still have to move away to get a thrall. Dodge gives you the comfort blanket of saying, well, okay, we're all going to eat this thrall over here and just, be in a useful position, rather than eating the one that stood up and already has block. Or failing to eat it and then losing a powerful player early on. I mean, did you come back? Every single bloodlust player is on the next drive that gets kicked off the pitch. But without that early dodge, I mean, the thralls can do the hitting. The thralls don't even need, they can get a couple of assists against most things and be absolutely fine. Again, Ivan with the agility, I probably would have taken block, even though it was a skill up.
Yeah.
Even though it was a stat up, I still would have taken block. And then the vampires can do their thing and not have to worry about the precious, delicate thrall ball carrier in the middle, the middle that maybe it was in the backfield getting the ball. 3 rolls is a good start. I'm kind of wondering why they're not getting another vampire now. Because they're starting to get to the point where they've got a few skills. They could be getting the 5th.
Mm. Maybe that's his next purchase, because they're
he's got the money
each, so he's got 150k in the bank. So yeah, you could get one for the first game. I mean, you could be waiting to see who's playing first and then decide to get one based on that, really. But yeah. Now,
from what I understand, a vampire can use the Apo, but you get the reroll, you get the regen result after you use the Apo.
Yeah, so you're not supposed to know, but there are graphical bugs in Blood Bowl that mean that quite often you can tell when
the death sound will play. Yeah.
There are some visual bugs where you don't get the cross or the skull sometimes, and that's a sure sign that regen's worked.
Yeah, I mean, I've not actually twigged that myself, but either way, it gives vampires this durability that no other player in the game has, because you've got regen and the Apo. I think no other team gets that combination apart from maybe the troll on an Orc troll team, goblin team.
Just Natat's watching as well, and he says dodge is the next priority for his vamps, and he's considering getting one next as well. So yeah, that kind of ties in with what we were saying.
I mean, whether it's the second skill or whether it's the first skill on one of the fresh vampires, I feel like he needs a few, or he's going to start to get to the point where he's giving away some team value. His thralls haven't got much going on, and he can't reposition to get that hypnotized chain going, where you can break. You can hypnotize the guard guy, and then you've freed up a couple of thralls to do a few hits, or you can go in and hypnotize the actual ball carrier, because then you can jump into the cage. Things like that. It's kind of like when you've got say one vampire has dodge, he might move up to the ball carrier and hypnotize the guy next to him, even though it's probably not going to work. It's 4+, 5+.
Yeah,
it's free. You can't turn over on a hypnotize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in fact, there are plenty of people who I've seen Andy Davo's stream where he just if his vampire ends a turn standing next to someone and he's already rolled bloodlust, he'll hypnotize them just for just as an extra player who has to be activated before before he counts as an assist or anything.
Yeah, it can seem as 7 blitzes. You get to move 6 players, hypnotize someone, and a thrall can move and blitz someone, and so the opponent can take nothing for granted and has to be really over careful, and that fear essentially will weaken the formations. I mean, this team to me is almost a bad example because of the lack of dodge, and I think when we look at the next vampire team, we'll see. I think we've seen in the way that the results they'll be getting this season, I think it might tell quite a different story.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this isn't a bad vampire team, though, is it? I mean, it's a good
at all.
team.
It's not a bad team at all. I mean, I think you're right, Helio. I think even though some of the coaches in this division have played a lot of Blood Bowl, I don't think they would have played necessarily against vampires a lot because they're not.
Some people.
Pick, so
some people have not played vampires at all because even like old hands at pen and paper, they face vampires and they're like, what?
Yeah. So
like, for example, a funny thing, the hypnotize. If you don't activate the player, it just stays there.
Yeah.
Yes. So you could end up, even with one vampire, you could end up hypnotizing an entire opposing team if the other person was silly enough not to
But more plausibly, if you hypnotize, say, a beast of Nurgle, it then has to be activated, and then it fails. It's really stupid, and it doesn't activate at all. But then it had to commit to that quite early on. So whereas otherwise you could have just stood it there, and had it tackling, emitting tackle zones and using its tentacles. It disables a lot of things. It disables a tail on a Crocs. It disables,
diving tackle,
guard players. Yeah, diving tackle. Shadowing, obviously less relevant. It disables pass block. It stops people catching. Yeah. It's a lot of things. It stops happening.
Oh yeah, the catching thing is big, isn't it? So you can hypnotize a catcher, and they have to move. They have to activate, which means they have to move. Which means if they want to score, they need to be in the end zone to receive the pass, which means the pass needs to be a long bomb. Or even sometimes it could be out of range. It's amazingly useful. Yeah. But wait, how much have we? I am now 100% paying attention. By the way, my game is over.
What was the score?
It was 2-1 to him. I lost to a 1-1 in the last turn.
I didn't hear you swearing.
No. There was there might have been a very deep inhaling of breath a couple of minutes ago. Have we actually talked about Bloodlust? Because it's great having hypnosis, but this is a skill you have to activate your players for, and your players, when activated, might decide to run off the field.
I think of it as being more akin to Take Root in that the player is still functional, because even if they run off the pitch, all you have to do is score or concede, and they're back on. Or
the other option is to bite one of your own players, which may result in a house of cards as you devour your own players in unlucky rolls of
I feel
injuries.
I think taking the Bloodlust is a completely underserved tactic. People don't try.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Just you don't need to re-roll. You don't need to eat anyone. Just go. Okay, well he's off the pitch. But if you've already got pitch control at that point, you can ignore it. If you've managed to screen a thrall who's got the ball, or even I suppose even a vampire, and you want to save re-roll, that's fine. And there's a strong argument to be made for loading up with Pro, because then you can ignore half of your Bloodlusts. But I'm not a fan of it now. And have a bit more experience with vampires, because I think that there's so many other things they can be doing. They can be because they've got the widest skill access of any player, anything but a mutation, which you can never have, and passing skill.
Were you here when we were talking about Kislev? Because that was they're basically them and Kislev Blitzers are the only two that.
Kislev Blitzers is the same. I've missed that.
Yeah. So all have strength and agility access, and I think.
But not only that, the agility for strength for guys, which is absurd. Yeah. And they have this great access, and they might never, they might not have the claw, mighty blow, pound on stuff, but they don't need to, because you can make one a killer. You can put guard on a bunch of them. Hypnosis and guard is absurd, but a combination. You walk into a space, you hypnotize one guy, slot another guard in, and give it sidestep, because your sidestep guard's a wonderful combination, and all of a sudden. You might not have blitzed the ball player this turn, the ball carrier in the cage, but you've controlled the cage, and none of the cage can get 2 dice blocks. Maybe even get 1 dice block.
It's interesting, but there is the thing to consider, which is that hypnosis is an agility skill, so you don't want to actually be in contact with anyone except for who your hypnosis is.
Unless they're already hypnotized. So
yes, yeah. So you could have some kind of weird House of Cards style, hypnotizing each corner of a cage with a vampire.
But even if you're trying the free key, it has to be a 6. It's a free shot. If you're going to demark them anyway, just do it.
Yeah, true. The lovely crazy Blood Bowl let's roll a 6 play.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can do it.
Let's move on from vampires.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's move on from vampires to the other vampire team.
Yeah. So we had 20 minutes on the first vampire team. So this
one's a quicker one.
Well, we might as well do the other vampire team next because there's only
Yeah.
one other team between them. So just to give you a bit of background on this one, this coach Wainaja or Wainaja, depending on how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He's the other recipient of the Flawless Victory Awards. He won all 5 of his games in paper. So this is
With vampires,
You've got to
that's
say
pretty
with
impressive.
vampire as well. So you've got to say he's got the chops perhaps.
And each match apart from one was won by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so for viewers at home, I brought up the scores on the doors. So they were all games, apart from I think the last one, which was an admin win, but still, 3-1, 2-0, 3-1, 2-1. So yeah, not bad at all. So if we look at his roster again, without going into too much detail, again, Helio on the
team is a broader.
But we do have a bit more. He's got 3 vamps this time. I guess one died or was hurt maybe. But yeah, he's got 1 blodge, 1 block, and one dodge. And we're also now being hosted by Mayu, who I think we were talking about earlier. But yeah, he's hosting us now. So watch your manners and language, guys. But anyway, Helio, onto these three vamps. So again, briefly,
you can afford a 4th
about these.
Fine, he can afford a 4th. These are the skills he needs. Yeah, he wants a kick. Yes, he could do with getting a double a leader just because more rerolls is good. And he wants to move towards 6 vampires. But this team is on the right path. There's very little to question here.
Yeah. Static.
We've already talked so much,
This guy's got 4 rerolls, which I think is what you want for vamps, rather than 3, which the last team had. But I guess that's a matter for a debate as well. But
now with all the dodge and all the block, it's starting to be like, well, yeah, he as soon as he's got all 6 vampires, 4 is probably the right amount. Now it feels excessive.
Well, he could always use them on the falls.
Yeah, I think 4's a good idea.
It's bloodlust, isn't it? You want them for really. Even if you get more skilled, it's still bloodlust could ruin your turn. So you want to try and minimize that as much as possible. I would imagine.
It is a very expensive way of minimizing bloodlust, but I think more than 4 is crazy, especially as they do start to get blodge, and you kind of the chances of needing to re-roll that many blocks. Because you don't actually go really bashy with vampires, do you? You only make 1 hypnosis and block the ball carrier and then run away with it. You don't try and kill as many players.
The key thing is to move the thralls and get that blitz in with a thrall before you even touch a vampire. Get thralls in good places where you can feed on them if you choose to. When the vampires are doing what they want to do. So if you want to block and advance, set up a thrall up so you can advance and still eat someone.
I also, although one of the things I would say about this team is they don't have enough thralls. Is that
he doesn't have enough players. He needs to buy some more players.
Yeah. So, but the other team's got.
Yeah. The
other team's got 10 thralls, whereas there's only 1 spare player. And if I'm facing vampires, the first thing I'm doing is trying to kill as many thralls as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you help the bloodlust by removing as few blood bags, as many blood bags from the pitch as possible, right?
Yeah, which is why the early block and wrestle is a good sign that he's doing his best to mitigate that.
Well, yeah, it's also just generally a good skill, isn't it?
But that's why the agility, stung for me quite so much, just because that could have been
the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the other team did have 10 thralls, whereas this is only 9.
It feels like he's lost some. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. They're only AV7, aren't they? I don't know the full history of this, but yeah.
And he's got his 20k in the bank.
He can't have lost that many, or he wouldn't have that much in the bank.
Yeah, true. He's got 200k, so he could easily get another vamp and another thrall as well. To be honest, so
a pair of thralls.
Not quite.
Aren't they 40k each?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
They
sorry,
are.
I was thinking vamps for 130.
How much is a vamp? 110.
110, yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, a coach to watch because he won all 5 games in his first round. So, Yeah.
Now we need to go back to the Wombles.
Yeah, so let's go back to Yannick's Overground Underground team. So Underworld, and again, it's a developing nicely Underworld team. It's only again 1250 TV, but what have we got here? We've got a Claw Guard Troll, which is great. One Blitzer with Guard, one Blitzer with Mighty Blow, which is pretty much what you want. And then presumably you'd alternate those two skills then for the next skill up. We'll get
I'd actually, I'd be making the Mighty Blow one into a killer. I wouldn't go Guard because I don't think Underworld are not that kind of a bashy team, are they? They don't want to get stuck in with Guard. You don't want your AV7 players to be anywhere near a rock. You want them to be spread out.
There's no one there to take advantage of the Guard. The Goblins probably shouldn't be mixing with people unless they can get the bare assists anyway. And you don't want the Blitzer getting hit by stuff that needs Guard.
I mean, I'd much rather have that second Blitzer having tackle. Build one into a Claw Mighty Blow piling on horns, and then Dauntless for killing big guys, and the other one gets tackle Mighty Blow and then piling on for killing stunties and dodgy types.
Dodgers, yeah.
Also, I'd have chosen Wrestle on the Skaven lineman. I mean, he's lucky enough to have Wrestle on one of those goblins, which is a great choice. 2 heads and horns next, and you've got a pretty good, interesting ball sacker. But other than lucky doubles on goblins who are strength 2, really you want Wrestle on the lineman to act as safeties. So I tend to go Wrestle tackle for both linemen too. Also, Guard's a good choice. On a double, obviously. And in fact, that would make me want to put block on the Guard player, which means you're not going to have Wrestle on anyone except for goblins. Yeah,
and dreadfully fragile like that.
Okay, Static. Anything to add?
I mean, I can kind of see the Guard on the Skaven lineman.
It's good that he's got 3 of them.
I'm not sure in which order he picked these skills. Maybe it was his first possible Guard pick, and that's why he took it. But if he took it after he had the 2 other Guards, I agree, it's questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, but basically, whichever one of the lineman and the Blitzer came first, I probably would have still chosen the Guard on the lineman for either way, but I wouldn't have chosen Guard on the Blitzer.
Well, I guess his troll is going to be killer, which I'm not entirely on board with, but 2 killers is probably enough.
I mean, no, the troll's not going to be a killer. The troll is like...
Well, he's building him into one.
Well, no, he's giving him claw. I mean, that's to deal with other big guys. Because, the one thing you don't want is a Beast of Nurgle or a Tree Man going near your Skaven and either having to dodge out with AV7 or getting hit with Mighty Blow, strength 5 things. So you stand the troll in there and he's dangerous to stand next to because he's got claw, but the other team don't want to leave him alone either. And the other option is tentacles, which is great against other stunty teams. But
I was thinking something like stand firm.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you'd want stand firm after you've got guard anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Stand firm would be next, wouldn't it?
But claw is a protection skill because you don't want to stand another big guy next to a big guy with claw.
Because he already has MB.
Yeah, and so what's probably happened is he's probably got some early SPP, from kills and stuff, just because of standing on lines and that. He's also the troll's got 2 MVPs, so he's got 10 of those SPP came from random games.
Yeah.
And then 4 casualties inflicted. So he's that's how he's made his SVP. But I don't think he's the killer. I think the Orinoco is the killer. It's
Well,
just he's lucked out on some MVPs. That's all.
So if we can move on to the next team, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. So yeah, the last one again. It's your favourite Core Knight, Zons. So Corinth Harpies 1190, which is just starting a sweet spot for Zons really. What do we have so far? So we've got again a fairly standard build. We've got 4 blitzers, 1 catcher, 1 thrower. Again, when I've built Zons in the past, I've always gone for 2 catchers with 1 thrower. Maybe another backup thrower sometimes, and gone down the sort of kick route with that one. But yeah, the blitzers one. Yeah. So this is the one where we think there might be a theme because it's got 2 strip ball blitzers.
That was your words.
That was cool.
No, that was me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering if he's going for lots of strippers and jugs at some point. But you know that's just childish. I mean,
When you could
why 2 strips? It's just
when you
it
could take
seems
Mighty
odd.
When you can
Yeah, and there is a mighty blow. You know, so there's a one blow and 2 strips.
Yeah,
Talk about childish.
Great Friday. So
Sorry.
So yeah, so I mean, typically with the blitzers, you want to build one as a killer, of course, with mighty blow, but then the others you want guard on more or less straight away, and then mighty blow, and then obviously one with tackle as well to cover the blodgers too. So yeah, some maybe odd initial picks on the blitzer.
I mean, also I think accuracy on the thrower.
That's odd.
You know, bodes badly. And if you look at the team statistics, so I've just seen you shake your head in Twitch to my previous jokes. Sorry. If you look at the history, they've won 3 and lost 2. So I think they probably play quite riskily and then either lose badly or win well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 2-0s and 1-0s in both directions. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key thing for me when I was in my Zon career is that the thrower isn't a thrower, the catchers aren't catchers, but the blitzers are blitzers. So it's important to remember that they're not a passing team by any stretch of the imagination because of the AG3 all over the place. I mean, again,
you've all forgotten.
The max you want to do is hand off and short passes, but even then that can go badly wrong, as I found out to my cost quite a few times. So yeah, you want to.
I know like strip ball is a bit questionable, and you kind of think, well, do we need the catches and stuff? But there's 80k of team value here, which is not being addressed.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. I don't even look there.
Yeah.
I forget about it so much.
Yeah,
and in fact,
4 cheerleaders, 4 coach assistants.
I
WTF.
I blame Cyberpunk Dreams because he's gone for 3 coach assistants. So clearly this is one more coach assistant for when he's facing them.
The arms race.
Yeah.
The arms race of wasted bloat.
Yeah. And is there any reason ever to pick more than 1 cheerleader or coach assistant static? What do you think?
You want to have one more than your opponent.
Well, I've heard that a lot, but I think in our league we have so much variance between the number of support staff. I don't think that's a viable approach here.
No, I got to agree as well. I mean, if it was me, I'd have 1 of each, if at all, and that'd fluctuate depending on who I was playing next as well. So what you don't want to give away is Zons is a wizard at any point because you're only AV7. It's a free mighty blow hit on your players. So yeah,
and Zons kind of need a cage.
Yeah, they have to cage, absolutely. I mean, it's not so bad when you've got the blitzers with guard. Cage works quite well then, but yeah, you do not want to give a wizard away because they will hit a couple of your players, and AV7 it can be disastrous. Okay.
I mean, a lot of blitzers.
It is worth mentioning, the elephant in the room. Obviously they all have dodge. In this division, there's only 2 teams with tackle.
Yeah.
Basically Cyberpunk Dreams has a smattering of it, I think, and the dwarfs obviously have it, but no one else has tackle. and that's they are the reason that Zons are so powerful at this level is because of teams that don't take tackle early on. I mean, that what I was saying about the underworld, where one of the blitzers should have tackle instead of guard, is because they'll be facing teams like this where you need your blitz to be done with tackle.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Cyber says he loves his bloat. But,
yeah.
There you go. Okay, I'm just going to post on the Discord that we're going to look at shotgun now. Are we at shotgun? No.
We're not. No, we haven't done Rock 2 because you haven't talked about my team yet, and that's all I care about.
So, yeah,
he's going to leave straight afterwards.
let me delete this.
I was just about to leave now. How dare you?
All right, we'll do Rock Division 2 now. So this is the second division. This one's ready to go. So should we start it off as well? Then we can talk about.
No, we should start it off after we've talked about the teams.
Okay.
So talk about the teams and then go.
Can you believe they've been matched against them?
Cool. No, we could play straight away as well. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I could stream that game.
Oh yeah, well yeah. If it's UB static, we could and yeah. This is, oh, bless you.
Bless you.
That was impressive.
Either bless you or get that elephant out of the room. Not sure.
Okay, we look at Rock Division 2, and what a surprise! Whose team's on the top left corner? It's Core Knight. So come on,
hey,
just justify this broken, bloody team to us.
I mean, they've got 3 good players. I don't know what you're talking about. And I mean, I'm definitely getting Claw with Shiv next level because. Do
you think it's going to survive that long?
It's been ages since I've had a double on a Storm Vermin. Please give me Claw. I'll actually be nice about Nuffle or something. On the other hand, I do have a natural one turner in Brush, and very low TV and a lot of loners. So I think should be all right. Oh, I do play quite a lot of low TV Blood Bowl, let's say, where I have inducements and Skaven are good fun with wizards and bribes and that kind of thing.
So you're going to be starting the next game with 4 journeymen.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be.
I do have some money, so I may well buy some players.
Money, you're above 80, above 150.
Yes.
So do you have a spending plan?
Well, basically, if I'm against anyone with tackle, if I've got anyone who looks like they might kill gutter runners really quickly, I might not get a gutter runner. I might try and live with just one gutter runner who can run the whole length of the pitch on his own.
He's a good gutter, but he's only one gutter, isn't he? So
yeah. So more gutters would be better. But I'm actually looking in the team. So if I get pulled against you, Ethel, with your Chaos Dwarfs, then no, I'm not buying a gutter because you're just going to kill my players.
Just burn a little bit and save the 150.
Oh no, I'll buy a few linemen. Maybe I can buy 3, right? Maybe even. Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I might not. Clearly. I might replace Scalpel because he's got a niggle.
If you were playing Chaos Dwarfs, I'd keep a few journeymen because you want something to get broken on the line that you aren't paying for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do I want to sell Scalpel? But anyway,
when it's tackle on the line, you can't even play the game of putting the gutters there and then edging them away. When you receive, you have to.
Welcome to Let's Talk About Core Knight's buying choices for the next round. I have no idea. Let's see.
Me and Static are making notes on what you're going to buy. So yeah.
Sack Crayon.
Static, what were you going to say there? You started to say something.
We talked about Perfect Red teams earlier, and this is pretty close. 3 elite players, and the rest is journeyman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd quite like some more leveled gutters, to tell you the truth. I'm a bit afraid that every time I've bought a gutter recently, it's been brutally murdered. So, there is that.
All right. Okay, well, I don't think there's much more to add on that team.
No.
There's not enough players to talk about.
Are you gonna, if
I mean,
no-
come on. There's 3 really, really good players. I mean, this is the late '90s Southampton with Matthew Letizier and the goalkeeper, basically.
You've lost me.
lost a lot of people. What would it take for you to re-roll this team? What would have to happen?
I'm not a big fan of re-rolling. It would have to. I mean, I had a team in the new International League with 5 players, and I still had a few games with them, and would get a few extra players every so often, rats as well. And I like having a rat team. I wouldn't re-roll this team into another rat team. So I don't see myself getting rid of it unless all 3 of the good players died, basically.
All right. Well, that's the challenge for the season, everyone. So
There's a plan.
step up.
And then I'm going to stop playing in RPS at all if that happens.
All right, come on.
So there you go.
No, not faithful. I've said this.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
I'm so faithful that if you kill my team, I can't play anymore. That's what's happening. Okay,
right.
sorry.
Okay, so the first human team, Weasel's Subhumans here. So again, just a fairly small squad of 11, but quite a high TV, 1430. Despite that, we've got let's see what key players we've got. So we've got a frenzy, mighty blow blitzer. We've got a movement 9 catcher with block and sidestep, which is nice. And again, the heliocentric school of skills. So we've got a block frenzy thrower this time, which is great. And
He's not chosen wrestle. That's clearly a mistake in the Helio playbook.
I mean, you need to get a double for guard.
Yeah. And then
I mean, seriously, guard and frenzy are pretty good just together.
Get yourself in the cage, and then then they follow you formations, and you can't get the second dice on you.
You're giving assists. And then what is nice, I do like, is the stand firm block.
Yeah.
Guard catcher, which is nice, but only 8 strength 2, so he's gonna get hit quite a lot. But
I don't understand what that's about.
Yeah, me neither. Like, what you could have a stronger, if one movement slower, blitzer doing the same thing, but for less TV, I think.
And guard sidestep is wonderful.
Yeah, and I mean it's interesting. Like he's got a second double. What would you have chosen as your second double instead, or would you have ignored it? When that's the question.
He doesn't have a leader yet, but then this team has throwers, so I guess it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. If you want a team without
you
throwers, then you'd be talking about, do I need the leader now? Because I can take it and there's no consequence. But I probably would have ignored it and gone with sidestep.
There must be something else that's useful. Oh, what about Nerves of Steel? Of course, on a catcher.
Yeah,
No.
I would have gone Nerves of Steel, I think, for the second double.
Almost.
Yeah, Nerves of Steel would have mean he could do this kind of like just be on the line, be an assist with guard. Actually, guard Nerves of Steel would work, oddly harmoniously. And then he can accept that. He might even knock people down, have the ball bounce back to him, and then be able to dodge away with his. I mean, what he really needs is agility for. That's what's missing here.
Needs to be an
Because
elf.
there's every elf coach ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, Nerve Steel is good, but you're better just making the ball safe with agility free. Getting so sidestep and guard would help make it safe.
Okay.
Oh,
Static,
and
anything?
he does have a stadium upgrade.
Oh, what's he got?
Beer stand.
Oh, okay, for surfs.
Yeah. And he's also chosen a sponsor, which does nothing but is interesting. So he is sponsored by the Guild of Bandits and Affiliated Traders.
Good work. So yeah, so
You are actually required to take the beer one if you play dwarfs now.
I know. You take the ref one, right? Because
No,
then you
the sponsor.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, fine.
Okay, any other comments
Actually,
on this one? Sorry, Static, what were you going to say?
I'm blaming the beer stand.
Yeah. beer stand for the frenzy and everything. Okay, all right.
I mean, actually, so the one thing is that he does have a sidestepper and a stand firmer. Does give him the option of, like, if he's facing a team with grab, he puts the stand firmer on the line, on the sidelines. And if he's facing a team with juggernaut, he puts the stand firmer there. So he's
You mean
he's,
the way
he's
around?
got two. Yeah, sorry. But he's got two players who can control the sidelines, and therefore, make it difficult to go up them. Well, he actually, that's what it is. I've unlocked the reason for his team. He's the sideline player. He's got two receivers who both want to go up the sidelines, and he's got two frenzy players to surf people into the beer stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be it.
And suddenly the team looks sensible.
Well, yeah.
Crowd doing the work for him.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll see how he gets on. Next team. Oh, actually, do we make any predictions for Division 1? Maybe we can go back to that in a minute. But Fighting Imhoteps, again, I think this was the 3 seasons ago best team name. So, again...
I think it's definitely the best named team. I think the players have got the most interesting naming convention.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're only eligible for the cup in your first season.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I think we've already we discussed last time the great chance of the Fighting Imhoteps facing the Longbeard team, where all the Longbeards are called Longbeard.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that he kills one and then it goes over to the other team and completely loses the naming convention.
That doesn't happen in Khemri.
No.
Khemri can't. Can we not have an Necro?
No, well they do, no, because they're ancient undead. They won't mess with these new dead. Yeah, so you have to have actually been dead for long enough to not have any flesh to join a Khemri team.
Probably cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we've got here, we've got 2 throws, 2 Blitzras, 4 Guardians, and again, what I like to see is a thrower with kickoff return and block. I mean, both throwers are pretty good, really, both on AT, SPP.
The tackle's an interesting choice, but
sweeper, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, you only have 4 players who can move 6.
Yeah.
So that's like after the kickoff return. That's the next level he's had, which can't be block, and is on a movement 6 player.
And then one of the blitzers is clearly going to be a killer, so he's got Mighty Blow already, and he'll probably get piling on. Next.
Yeah. I definitely think the player to watch is Imhotep, though. I think he's definitely going to be the surprise standout of the team.
Yeah, Imhotep, he's played well in the games thus far, and I think moving forward, he's got the team on his shoulders. So.
I mean, it is weird that Imhotep number 2, 3, and 4 have so few skills. I'm assuming that he's had a few dead Tomb Guardians and what's it called? Rot away. Oh, what is that thing called again? Decay has actually, has helped kill a few of them.
So I don't think he has. I think he's just been unlucky. I mean, if we look at them,
1 death sustained.
Yeah, I mean, the number 2's had 11 games with nothing. Number 3 has had.
Yeah, you're right.
The only death was in season 12, so yeah, that was his first season. So he's had a while since any deaths.
Yeah,
these guys are just not.
No, you're right. All 4 of them have played 11 games.
All 11, yeah. So they've just been unlucky, or his opponents have been lucky anyway. So
that's very odd, isn't it? Or does he just use the other 3 purely defensively and doesn't man mark all the time?
I mean, one of them is an obvious, blitz player. If he's still movement 4, he's still got block and mighty blow. He is probably your first pick to get the triple dice.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get triple dice with the others too.
I mean, for whatever reason, the others have been languishing, be getting a lot of pushes or a lot of stuns, or even KOs. But yeah, it's. I can't imagine it was a choice.
No, I don't think so. Okay.
But it's a healthy team. He's got his dirty player.
Yeah.
He's got that 1 guard. He's going to start him up. He needs a few more guards before. I mean, hopefully on a Tomb Guardian, but a few more guards, and then he can start to have a main line for which the positionals can operate.
Yeah, I mean, Chainsaw is an ex-champion of the Divisions of Death as well, but again, last season he famously drew with the AI in his first game, so yeah.
That was a
surprising.
an AI team with 2000
it was a magic.
TV of 2000 TV of skill ups, but only worth 1000 TV.
That's true.
So
So they've got inducements as well as being the equal.
Slightly above, I think, actually. But yeah. And the Fighting Imhoteps are sponsored by Spike Magazine. So I'm going to do that every time now.
Good.
If you remember, that's fine.
Yeah.
Static, anything to mention?
I'm going to go and put a sponsor on my team.
Not really. I like the build from the Camu team, and I'm hoping we're putting that dirty player to use.
Yeah, I think knowing him, he definitely will be.
Yeah, he'd play Wood Elves and have a dirty player and be fouling people. So
okay, so Chaos next. So it's our first developed Chaos team, which they're not that prevalent in this league. But
no, they're on the cusp of well developed, aren't they? They're just getting there.
They've got the Mighty Blow Claw, but not the Piling On.
Yeah.
And that one Claw Chaos Warrior, I assume, was in response to playing a Dwarf team with no other Claw or something like that, because that's a slightly odd first skill pick. But other than that, pretty much standard. One Ball Carrier, one Claw Mighty Blow, one Tackle Wrestle for dealing with blodgers, and one block. So with the Frenzy Goat, I'd actually consider getting Juggernaut before block. So go... Frenzy, Juggernaut, block.
Dedicated Blitzer.
Yeah. Like Surfer, pretty much.
Or even, and then you can follow up with strip ball, and we have that kind of. He has a pure, clean role, which is to either serve people or take the ball off people. But then he needs stand firm, or he'll get served too.
It's a bit light on guard for my taste.
Yeah, there's only one, isn't there, so far?
There's a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what would you get rid of for the guard?
Probably the Frenzy.
Yeah.
The Frenzy it offers a threat. It says if you go near the sidelines, if you want.
I think it's either the Frenzy or the third Mighty Blow.
But 3 Mighty Blow means that when you're lining up on the line, you get 3 of those hits. I think I think the Mighty Blow is kind of almost more, once you've got one guard, you've got a guard to stand on the line. And he's not facing teams mostly that are that developed. I mean, he's the highest TV other than the Nurgle, right? And Nurgle are classically massive.
He's a team with 4 adequate ball handling strengthful players. So the guard almost matters less because he can get the strengthful players in position. And they can do the occasional dodge if they need to, and they can pick up the ball because it's still agility free. It's not like, say, in an Orc team when you've got your Black Orcs. They're not going to be able to rely but pick up the ball. But the Chaos Warriors can, and
they can, but they shouldn't. I mean,
they shouldn't. But I mean, when the ball accidentally bounces, you've got that little bit more chance of picking it up.
Yeah,
a little bit more worthwhile using a reroll on the fumble. If when it bounces over to you, so it just kind of get a situation where guard. You could actually have skipped that guard. That guard could have been another Mighty Blow with a few more skills, and it wouldn't have mattered because you've still got the horns. Essentially, the whole team on a blitz is strength 4.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, that's true, But I don't know. I think with Static, I'd like to see a bit more guard as well because, all right, at the moment, he's not going to be facing similar strength teams, but. Against the Khemri, for example, he's going to be, outclassed there quite a lot. And with only one guard, he won't be able to go toe to toe with them. So yeah, I'd like to see a bit more guard there as well. But like you say, what would I replace it with so far? That's a harder question. So yeah, maybe the single claw. But
I think the single claw was probably in response to
I think
my next game. I've got one level. My next game's against dwarves. I assume he didn't have the Claw Beastman and just, decided that he'd have a can opener or some AV9 team.
Yeah.
That he was playing.
Or a tree.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't see. This is the other thing. I like the teams that you face where more than one guard is necessary. There aren't that many of them, and you out agility them. As I mean, I do think Helio's idea of ball carrying warriors is crazy, but you know, like you can still dodge. I think is the important thing.
Yeah.
Right.
On
So
sweepers,
they can out agility other strength teams. They don't need to have all that guard straight away. So long as they're getting that mighty blow claw blitz when they need to, as long as they've got a wrestle tackle piece to catch any blodging, potatoes, and a frenzy piece to keep the sidelines clear. I wonder if they've only had one double, because they've only got one double skill. But I wonder if this is his plan, and he's turned down other skills because he doesn't want to get bloaty. Because that is something that does happen with chaos when you get some lucky rolls. The teams can be a bit worse at higher TV if you take some stat ups and some weird doubles.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that with chaos that you need a second frenzy if you want to really control the sidelines, because you need to kind of one over each side, which stops people just breaking through, which means they have to meet you head on, and you're better at that.
I think it's more a case of you kind of set up a wall, and like teams have to choose a mostly one direction usually, and you just move that frenzy player towards that one direction, so he's able to frenzy someone who gets too close, and that's enough to keep people within the tram lines, and that makes your job of like holding the space a lot easier. I think one frenzy is enough to start with.
I mean,
keep him central, keep him in the backfield a little bit.
Two is good eventually, I guess, for some chain frenzy pushes, but yeah, initially you just need, in my opinion, one. Okay, let's move on.
And he has security gates, so he is very scared of pitch invasions, I would guess, or riots. I'm not sure which.
Okay, so we've got the next Bashi team, which is Nurgle, and again, a guy once told me that Nurgle don't get good until they played 50 games. So this team's only on 11 so far. So I mean, again, the roster's kind of getting there. I mean, it's good that the 3 of the 4 warriors have got block. One's got claw, one's got guard. But yeah, I mean, it's still a work in progress, isn't it? Would you say?
I mean, the agility for past can't be relied on. He's for now. And even with regen, he's going to be a target of so much attention and been so critical to every play that, it's going to be a matter of time before he's taken apart. But in the meantime, he's going to do a lot to help this team focus on hitting people and getting the SPP.
I think he should have a killer by now. One of those pestigors should have chosen Mighty Blow as a first skill, and should have then gone for claw and then piling on and then block, because that's what this team is missing. And I also think another odd, claw Nurgle warrior without Mighty Blow is a bad choice. Like claw is actively worse than Mighty Blow in pretty much every situation.
Yeah, because you don't need to be hitting a tree, and everyone else is either AV8 or AV9, and the AV9 guys, Mighty Blow will still help you get more injury results.
Yeah, because the really important thing is the injury roll. Not with claw you're gonna be stunning a lot more AV9 players, but it's a stun which isn't anywhere near as good as the extra removals you'll be getting from a Mighty Blow hit.
Absolutely, and it does KOs or better.
And it was literally nothing to a Skaven or Wood Elf team.
I mean, in fact, there's some arguments to be made for having piling on before claw as well.
As long as you don't mind getting up and have plenty of players. But I mean,
that's the issue as well. So that's why it's wrong to not have a Pestigor who's a killer. To have claw first on a Nurgle warrior who's movement 4. You don't want your warriors to be the Mighty Blow claw piling on guys. In my opinion.
No, I think you're right. You want them to be the mighty blow guarders, really, to hold that line. Because again, with it doesn't happen that often. But with the is it foul appearance? I mean, again, that can ruin another player's complete play. That can if they're in the way, you just can't even hit them. So.
Or it's like Bonehead, you think you've got 4 or 5 different hits, and you just roll a string of ones, and all your players are standing in base contact with Mighty Blow Strength 4 warriors. It's suddenly horrific. But this team does need still some growing as well.
Static, any comments?
But not really. Again, I'd consider firing the 4 movement water.
That needs to go, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
he does have money roll.
He's not got any money though.
I'd still fire him.
I mean, you could still foul with him. It's only 40k team value.
Yeah, he's not niggled. He's not more likely to leave the pitch. He's a rotter. I'd keep him until you either take someone else's player or you have some more money.
I mean, and with a 40k player, fouling is very valid.
And I suppose a foul might be how you get the extra player.
Yeah, could be. Could very well be. All right, great. Okay, so I think that's all the teams from Rock 2 signed up. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Fantastic Authors United. So this is a Necro team. This is Lava Jackal. I don't know if Lava Jackal's still on the stream. I know he was earlier. I think my phone's died. So if you're watching the comments, can you,
I am watching. I have them on now.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so fairly well developed necromantic team. We've got a fantastic wolf with Mighty Blow and obviously Claw to get that starting on block as well, which is great. An amazing AG5 ghoul, which may not be that actually amazing.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Does it actually make you sad? What?
Yeah, because an agility 4 ghoul is that bit of extra security in the backfield. What's the agility 5 for? Like the extra up. What does it do that block wouldn't do better?
Or wrestle.
Block or wrestle, or kick off return if you wanted to have him collecting the ball.
Obviously, there are 2 choices. He's either a thrower in a team where you don't really have any catchers, which is or he's
an armor 7 leaper,
or he's a cage diver, with armor 7 and no regen,
and no block.
And strength 3.
I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds terrible. But if I saw that second AG up, I'd probably choose it. Of course you are.
I mean, the players that take a second agility upon, like a Black Orc,
Sorry, that was too good.
When you can getting to agility 4 is kind of the I'm trying to think there's the brass chip. It's that kind of brass ring. That's the one. That's the brass ring where you have reached it. You're there. You can stop now.
No, because you play elves. An AG5 elf is amazing, right?
I wouldn't know. I've not had a single stat up.
not bitter.
No, actually, I did roll, and I think I had it, and then he died. It's one of those. But there's so many more things you could have picked on that ghoul, and you can even get into eclectic weird skills like pass block and. Where it would actually start to become functional. But not.
I mean, the thing to me is that those first 2 skills means the next skill is another 15 points away, and then you're gonna have wrestle, and you'll have a or block or whatever. But I'd go for wrestle next. Yeah. And then you've got another 20, 30 points. Sorry, I forget.
The really scary thing is what happens for the next one. What happens if you roll strength?
I mean, you take it.
But then you've got a strength 4 and no block,
and 200 TV worth of no block, no regen player. Yeah.
Whereas if you take and block and then you get the freak stat and you go, oh, actually, if you want the movement, take it. You get a strength roll, take it. You've still got block. You've got blodge. It's a pretty complete player with just that block or wrestle, but without it,
I bet you Lava Jackal is regretting it. So it's already been 7 points since he leveled up, 7 SPP points. I bet you it feels like the longest time ever that he's had this AG5 no block wrestle ghoul, and he's like inching his way towards 31 star player points, and I bet you he's regretting it. Just any money.
A player that I'm happy to see is the kick zombie. That's an old standard. You want the kick zombie. The kick zombie allows you to have that bit more pitch control in the early beginning of drives. You can, dump the ball in the far corner, watch the opponent desperately try and get over to it.
I mean, the kick zombie works well. You could, in a positive light, look at the AG5 ghoul to say if he kicks short and gets a blitz, I mean, you've probably got the ball, haven't you? More or less, you're going to catch it and then.
Well, you can put CS Lewis under a marked space. Yeah.
I think if you catch your own ball, it's a touchback though.
No. Not if you're in the other half. Only if you're in your own half.
Yeah.
Actually, so in the rules, if you're standing in your own half and you have diving catch, and you catch
drag the ball to your own half, that's even if you attempt to pull the ball back. That's
in the rules.
It's a touchback.
Yeah, it's a touchback. So even if you fail to catch it, as soon as you say I'm using dive tackle, it's a touchback. But in the Cyanide version, there's been 2 games recently where ball has been caught by a defending team across the goal, across the line
with no touchback.
With no touchback. Yeah, there's one in the UK BBL recently as well.
I mean, I also had the ball carrying halfling get thrown, drop the ball, then get up, pick up the ball, and keep running.
Oh, they fixed that bug though.
That's gone now. Right? Yeah. So I met that one in the Stunty League. It played against me rather than me doing it. But yeah, I think this team is in a solid position. They've got a blodge white. White.
White.
So that's going to make the ghoul feel much more supported because the ghoul's right's going to be positioned.
Although I like to have levels up on my flesh golems, and he's been unlucky with those too.
He needs to have the one with 5 do a pass.
yes, he does.
You turn 8 pass, or
he's either had a werewolf die, or because one of them's only played 4 matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an okay team. That werewolf alone, Tolkien, he could, you could have him and a team of zombies, and it wouldn't be a terrible team, basically.
But C.S. Lewis needs to go back to Narnia.
Boom, boom. Okay, Static, are you ready to talk us through your Gobbo squad?
Well, pretty much, yes.
Okay, so
basically this Gobbo squad is going to die this season. Looking at the other teams, but I'm hoping I'll be able to take some of the other teams with me.
Do you feel any pressure to retire other than the catch one, which I completely understand, the developed goblins?
Only if the second roll doesn't bring up anything useful.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's sensible with goblins, isn't it?
Like if the catch goblin doesn't get anything useful on the second skill up, I'm probably dumping him because, well, I might keep him because now the average TV is a lot higher than in paper.
Yeah.
So it might not influence inducement as much. But if this was still paper, I'd definitely consider dumping them after the second skill up if it isn't a double or anything special.
Now, I'm assuming the Looney scored.
The previous Looney scored, and then he sawed himself in the face and died.
No, but one of them has 3 experience points.
Yeah, he's got 1 touchdown. You can click on the stats for a player.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
okay. The other one had 5, I think. I think he also scored a touchdown, and then he sawed himself in the face and died. This one has sawed himself in the face twice, I think, but hasn't managed to die yet.
I mean, maybe this is a sign that you're using him too much.
Is he the first thing you do each turn? You just saw?
Or no? Is he the player that you foul with at the end of each turn?
Like the lunatic is on the field, not in the coaching seat, but probably at least. No, I'm trying to be sensible and do the safe things first, but often that includes moving the trolls around. But at
So-
least it doesn't turn over. But
So-
fouls is usually one of the last things I do.
So does that mean you blitz with a normal goblin typically?
I'm finding myself blitzing with the trolls relatively often. I think.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
sometimes
you
blitz
kind
with
of have
Luni
to.
if I don't find another opening.
So you can't try and get that triple dice, and that way you don't have to worry too much about Loner.
Well, I'm trying to get a triple dice. It's not always possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Often, like if he's on the field, the fanatic is often the first one to move, just because he is relatively safe to move around.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot.
And
of
also,
respect-
you want to move your players around him when he's wherever he ends up, so that you can protect him as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to remember that.
But I have a lot of respect for it. No bomber, decent bench. This is a team that isn't just a silly playing the joke goblin team. It can actually.
They've done really well.
Whatever.
2 wins, 3 losses isn't bad for goblins, I'd
Yeah,
say.
no, it isn't. Some people play goblins going, "Oh, it's a joke team," so they play it like a joke team. But
Well,
it looks
I'm
like you're actually putting the.
I'm kind of doing that.
This is a. You've got the stamina for it to work, though.
Yeah, like whether the goblins or the pro elves survive the next season is probably going to depend on how many of the goblins actually survive.
Or how much money you make. I mean, if you get the cash rolls, it doesn't matter that they die as long as you can keep replacing them.
Yeah, I guess I've got all the essentials.
Yeah.
Like a club upgrade would be nice, but it's not super essential, I guess.
I mean, what I found is because of the way team inducements are being done, the Nuffle Shrine is good against everything but orcs, and then the free bribe actually I'd say is a no-no because it's giving the opponent a bribe against your goblins.
Yeah, I think the
You're not getting value for money because you're paying 100k for the bribe in a way, and they're paying 100k for the bribe.
it's also really hard to burn through 4 bribes effectively.
I think you still capped at 3.
Yeah, 3 is max.
Oh, okay. Even at 3, it's sometimes hard to burn through all of them. Sometimes you just don't get good openings for fouls.
I mean,
you're-
that's the reason that the bribe stadium is not worth it for goblins is because you're paying 50 TV for a bribe. Why would you spend? Why would you have
Spend
the stadium
100
upgrade that gives your
doing this.
opponent 100 TV worth of bribe when you're only getting 50 TV worth of bribe?
Because it seems very intuitive that you'd get bribe as goblins and don't think it through.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Okay, that's a good answer.
I mean, what works if you take the Nuffle Shrine and you don't play orcs, then you can bring Bomber, and you only pay like 10k for him, which means you can even if you're a greater team value, say you end up against an undeveloped team or halflings, you can just buy it.
Worst case, you can just use him as an additional marker.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to use the bomb, so he can pick up the
Or
ball.
like put him on the line and just throw a bomb at his feet.
or even so there's even the possibility of just using him like as if he's a bribe, so he's at one extra player that you can have him for a drive, so your other secret weapons aren't getting sent off.
Yeah, I mean, I do have 150k, so Nuffle's Shrine sometime soon is definitely on the table.
Oh, actually, one thing to do with Bomber: have him foul. Because if he's sent off from a foul,
Doesn't matter.
just let him go. Just don't even worry about it. It's done.
Why-
He's like a free fouler.
no pogo static. What's the reason behind that?
Didn't fit in the initial lineup and like never had a good opportunity to pick one up.
Okay.
I'm
I'm seeing this more and more.
I'm not a big fan of the pogo. I think in a team where most of your players are like 40 TV, you're paying 70 TV. I'm not so sure it's that great.
I know some other teams have had very good success with the Pogoer, but ultimately I didn't feel comfortable using him.
Fair enough.
He's good when you're playing against completely fresh teams for a while. So if you were doing a cup, the Pogo has a role.
Yeah, I think the most common advice I've seen regarding Pogoers is pick him up in the beginning or not at all, and if he dies, you never pick one up again.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Kind of like the Rauga.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Well, Red Ogre has some applications, but I don't think we've got one in the league.
I had one. He died. I replaced him. He died.
He died. Yeah. Okay. Another. Okay. Again, briefly, we'll talk about the next vampire side. So
touchy.
is Macy's.
What's that? What?
So next team is Rampant Consumerism, which is Macy's vampire side. So again, briefly, we'll talk about the vamps in this one. So 4 vamp build. One of them's MNG.
Yeah, Capcom. Is Capcom really? Is that some kind of gaming joke about them being,
Greedy.
evil?
Yeah.
Greedy.
Pachinko. The Pachinko machines. They're basically a gambling company, first and foremost.
Oh, okay. Because I obviously think about them as Street Fighter.
Yeah, I mean they went to the arcade machines because they were into the gambling machines, and it was a sidestep. And they've always kept one foot in the gambling pool, and they're kind of going back that way now.
Isn't Nintendo also really heavy into pachinko machines?
I mean, isn't it a massive way of making money? And so,
the thing is, Capcom have been really involved in moving gambling deregulation. Like they're the massive advocates. Like they're not just they make more money from gambling when they do computer games, whereas Nintendo make more money from computer games, and they'll probably subcontract their pachinko out to people like Capcom, because actually, if you go into an arcade and you see a Mario Kart game, and you'll notice Pac-Man's in it because it was made by Capcom. Because Nintendo have never really maintained an arcade presence. So, yeah, that's one thing I know about them. So yeah, they definitely fit. They're a good fit for this team.
Okay.
Well, I mean, except the other 3 are really evil. I mean,
Yeah. So movement 7's got to be nice, right? On a vamp.
I mean, yeah.
He's gonna spend a bit of time alone, but he's okay with it.
Yeah.
As long as make sure you send the thrall first.
Not much else to say. He hasn't got much cash left, so maybe he has lost some thralls. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, fairly standard low development vamp team, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, he's only going to have 11 players for his first game, which is going to make it pretty hard as vamps, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's going to be trying to score with KFC to try and give him those all-important survival skills. But other than that, we've talked about vamps quite a lot already.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so
he is sponsored by. No, he's not sponsored. Sorry.
He didn't do that for Statics team. He's sponsored by, wasn't
he? He didn't have sponsorship, did he? Oh,
whatever the Goblin Fiend one is.
Of course. Small Annoyances, sponsored by Goblin Gambling.
And you also forgot Fantastic Offers United, which are sponsored by Spike Magazine.
There you go. You're not very good at this new feature coordinate that you just invented.
No, sorry. I need to go away and practice that voice a bit as well, because I can't help but giggle while trying to do it.
Right.
You need a soundboard.
Yeah.
No, soundboards are wrong.
Okay, so Warpstone Wolverines, Indie Ash's Skaven team. So this is how a Skaven team probably should look, Coordinate, with less injuries.
No, it's not. No, this is not what a Skaven team should look like. 2 throwers. Who picks 2 throwers?
Well,
what's that about?
You've got redundancy.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit too much redundancy.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, actually, so we talked about this last time, and actually, I was the one that said it might be redundancy. Just thought I'd put that. Anyway, but maybe there is a reason, and that is that he only has 2 team rerolls, and he wants to have leader.
Yeah.
So he's doubling his chances of getting to leader. I mean, it's still a silly idea. But he's only played three games.
Yeah.
The thrower is actually more expensive than getting a team reroll in team creation, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, one of the throwers is new. One of the throwers, the second thrower has literally just been bought.
Oh, okay.
He's not played a single game with the other thrower. It's still silly buying a second thrower when when you're that underdeveloped. I mean,
and 2 team rerolls is really brave.
Yeah, bold.
Yeah, very. But other than those two things, I think it's a good team.
I mean,
I've
not.
it's a team full of rats, which is always a good start. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I've not
Why
played.
did he move up to WOC already? He
that's-
only has 2 games played total.
That's what I was going to say, Static. So I haven't played Indie Ash. I don't know him. I don't recognise the name, but he must be fairly confident in his playing ability because he moved straight up into Rock. He didn't have to. And I mean, his first game he won 5-0, which is quite a high scoring game. So maybe he just fancies his chances.
Well, you certainly get a lot of inducements.
Yeah, absolutely. But you won't get.
Not-
inducements against the next team we're looking at, which is I don't know, a league
So
commissioner.
actually,
Cursed Wolf team.
So half of the league he won't get inducements against. There's of those 10 teams, 5 of them actually mine will have. He'll get 100 against me because of loners, but there are the vampires, your goblins, and the dwarves are all actually quite low TV for this level of competition.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting your own fanfare.
So the clear winners of Division 2 are my Chaos Dwarf team. So
for whoever that other Chaos Dwarf team, this is what a Chaos Dwarf team should look like.
Yeah. So a really standard boring build, you could say, but 2 bulls, 4 blockers, and 4 gobs. So
5 blockers.
5 blockers. Sorry, can't even count.
Yeah, it's good to know. It's good to see you know your own team, but yeah.
So
this is a complete reaction to your last team, which were the Wood Elves.
Yeah.
From one extreme to another.
And do you know what? I've never really played Chaos Dwarfs that much, so this should be quite an interesting learning curve for me. So yeah, it should be quite good.
I really like Chaos Dwarfs a lot. Sorry.
Are you going to go with the Bull Centaur Ball Carrier, or are you going to be reasonable and use an HG3 piece?
No, bull, absolutely. So hoping for an AG3 on one of the bulls, but yeah, they're going to be the ball carriers. And basically, as I said before about the other team, unless the Gobbos get a stat up maybe or a double, unless they're going to get dirty player. If they get to 16 without anything else, I'm just going to fire them. So they're going to be my foulers.
So you wouldn't have a Blodge Hobgoblin?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, I disagree. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yes. The real question isn't are you going to pick up with the Bull Centaurs? It's are you going to go as far as to go and get sure hands on a Bull Centaur?
Yeah, I would get sure hands. Absolutely.
Like before AG, so you'd get it as a first skill.
I think one will go sure hands first skill, and the other one will go probably break tackle. I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic went quiet on me there. Can I just ask a question? If these guys do very well in the season and they get promoted, are they going to become your real team, or are you going to move on from them?
This is my only team, so this is my real.
No, I mean you're not just using them as a filler; that you consider them your legitimate.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's killed his Wood Elves.
Yeah, they've gone. They're retired.
Oh no, but I didn't know if you chose a team because you were starting off in Rock. I didn't know if you chose a team which was durable rather than something you wanted to stick with, and whether you were gonna.
100%. This is my team now until they're dead. So yeah.
To put this question another way, did you pick them partially because you knew where they were going to be starting in?
No, I picked them for paper, to be honest. But then when I looked at the teams, we had 19 in Rock, so I thought, well, if my team in, we can have 2 divisions. So that's what I did.
Commissioner's prerogative.
Yeah, commissioner's prerogative. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so well, let's do some predictions. Helio, you're the only one without a horse in this race, so I guess you should go. You should go first.
Okay, well, of the 3 of you, I don't see any of you getting in the top 3. So that's that. it's the fighting Imhoteps to me they're going to get back up into Chainsaw's going to be back up in the champs. I don't know if that means he's first or squeezing his way up into second place. And how many go up now? Is it we're going to do playoffs?
Yeah, so it'd be
top team, right? And then top team automatic, and then 2 and 3 fight it out.
Yeah,
right?
definitely 1, possibly 3 from here. Yeah.
Yeah. The vampires aren't ready. There's so many teams that aren't ready, but Fantastic Authors is relatively well fleshed out, and I can see them being a winner just if that ghoul dies soon. If that ghoul dies in the first game, they will be they will have a reasonable team value for their development. But that's conditional. I see Future Proud Drivers have been a steady team. I don't think that they're going to have any runaway wins, but I think this is a steady couple of wins. I just see them at the top, not by a lot. They'll just be there, along with the fighting Imhoteps. Just kind of, I think it'll be quite well contested. I don't think there'll be any runaway winners.
I think that actually Spartan Industrialists they've reached the point where their team are a good team, and they'll kill some other teams and do really well.
Oh no!
I think if they like, and I think to the point where they'll actually win games and possibly a lot of games. I think they'll ruin the Khemri quite badly. They'll do some damage to the humans. They'll hurt the other Nurgle team. They're not going to be good for Ethelred's dwarves. The chaos would be my. I think they're pretty much. This is the perfect point for them. So
but the consequence is everyone they play will be easier win for their opponents. Consequently, because they leave permanent damage on people, and so I think people who aren't even doing that well will still be able to get wins against a team that maybe they've broken. So I think that'll lead a bit more of a leveling factor, because even every opponent they win against will sink to the bottom and not matter. But people did manage to hold their own.
And this is why my rats will win the division.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think that. I agree with you, Corn. I think the Chaos are well placed to take this if they have a good run. I hear what you're saying, Helio, and I think maybe you have to rein it in a bit, because once he's won the game, he doesn't really want to injure the team anymore.
I mean, so... I totally disagree. I think he should be murdering every team he faces. The thing is, if he can win all his games, it doesn't matter if other teams have easier days of it, because he'll have beaten the 5 other teams who have been unbeaten up until that point, and so therefore he'll be the best team. It's not losing is far more important than not murdering teams. In fact, and kill as many people as possible.
SPP hits are important. The foul, once he's got ahead, the fouls will stop mattering, because that doesn't get you experience points, but you want to experience points. More developed players, more spiraling out of control development. Two claw mighty bow piling on, one for the line, one for the blitz. That way you can position one, and the other one can get up from being piled over. But this team will get a lot of build up a lot of experience points this season. But they're it's kind of a block of about 5, which I can see being at the top altogether, quite close, and it'll probably end up coming down to the map touchdowns.
Yeah,
ultimately,
maybe.
Well, I mean, it's Swiss, so whoever's got the best record will have to play whoever else has the best record.
Yeah.
So you rapidly get to the point where no one has. Well, either 2 teams will face. They'll both get a draw. That might result in some similarities, but you should get quite a lot of differentiation between the teams. It should be very hard for teams to get to the same place.
Okay. Static. Any.
My money is on Chaos. Where the TV value will want to be. They've got lots of teams they can punch down. They've got the claws for the armor teams, and All the unarmored teams pretty much don't have the block skills ready. I could maybe see one of these Skaven teams keeping up with them if they get really lucky on the dodge rolls because we don't have a whole lot of tackle in the league.
Mm.
But this will heavily depend on whether they roll well on the first few games to replace players in Core Knight's case or to get these skill ups in the Warpster and Wolverines.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Authors, as long as C.S. Lewis dies, they will be able to pull a few inducements. They'll be able to, field enough zombies that they can start to shrug off the back if they do face Spartan. They can feel. They can. Is that bloat is just sitting there?
I just don't see the ghoul surviving with AV7.
No, I mean it's better if he doesn't.
Yeah,
It's better if
he wants him to die. So
Well,
the team,
yeah.
But at that point, we're pretty much a baseline Necro team with no.
Well, but baseline necro teams are pretty good. With one Wolverine.
Yeah, but are they good against 1.5k Chaos and 1.5k Noro?
If you don't have to survive, you don't have to do damage. You just need to run around them and score.
I'm also taking into account. I'm assuming that the people who know how to build their teams are probably going to be better coaches too. So I think that Chaos's correct build choices is a sign that he's a good player. And also, I played him and he beat me.
Yeah.
The teams that have odd, basically dysfunctional, choices, we can assume that
What are you trying to say?
their coaches are not great, or they're gonna hamstring themselves with their odd choices, basically.
Yeah.
One thing that we've not mentioned is actually, Chaos Dwarves are very good to start with, and in fact get better. So I wouldn't count Ithred out either.
No, with 500 TV of inducements is great. I mean, that could help against, if you just Tahoe in the first few weeks, that could be a big help.
It's not. Hopefully, I'll get one of the vampire teams first, or a Skaven team first, or the goblins. That'll really help with my TV and my SPP. But yeah, if I get Chaos first, it's gonna be tough. I think. I
mean, even the Khemri are not a bad matchup for you because
the vampire be a good matchup. You've got a lot of good matchups. More than half the teams will be a good first choice.
The Necro, not the Chaos. Anyway, everyone else.
Before we do Rock, then Division 1, should we start and see who we do have?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, ready? Drum roll.
Yeah, wait. If it's you and me, Ethel, should we just quit this now and go and play?
Well, yeah. Well, to be honest, I was going to say I'm going to have to quit now anyway. I'm going to have to do shotgun another time because.
Oh really? Okay.
Okay. Well, then unleash the balls.
Okay. Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay.
I don't know how long.
Does it just appear for us, or do we have to go back and? There it is.
So let's talk about these matchups.
Oh, we are facing each other.
That's typical, isn't it?
So what's going to happen now is that the Skaven are going to get in a bit of a mess.
Well, I hope so.
They're going to win, but then they're going to get ruined, which actually, Ephraim, is good for you because you'll get downgraded in the Wisen to someone who lost and is in a really bad state. You'll unpeel them. You'll blow up with some good. I say bloat, and you will develop with some good 2 good matches in a row, while Spartium rips people apart at the top.
Well, I was going to say, how do you feel about your static? You got Spartium first up.
my initial reaction was oh shit, but I think it's not that bad. It's only 1 tackle player.
Yeah.
There's no proper big guys on the enemy team, no plus strength, so my trolls will actually be able to contest the enemies. The claw is the claw is not relevant against most of my team, basically. It's only 4 block players, which isn't too bad either. And
he's only got 1 guard, so you need to saw that guard.
No, I think I need to. Well, I guess these.
The ball carrier, the blodge ball carrier, is your first target. If that works,
probably.
Then go after the guard.
And as long as I dodge away from him, I'll only take one mighty blow per turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so he's got the choice between either using mighty blow on you or a tackle. So you've got to hope for
Yeah, but
those
that's
dodges.
that's actually not that terrible.
You've got 430 inducements.
Yeah, which is tempting to go for a big guy. I think Whipper is 230.
I wouldn't get get Ripper.
I'll need to
He's going to
think
get
this through.
clawed. He's going to get clawed off the pitch
Yeah,
before he even does anything.
I need to think that one through.
Hmm.
Fireball always disrupts a Chaos team's plans because they're going to want to fight. They want to block up a cage.
Yeah, they want to cage.
So, and you can deny that. You can get a stunty dodge in, maybe from a back corner, and start to pick at the cage and force them tighter into a full 5 diamond formation, and then hit them with a fireball. And
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to have 2 bribes and a fireball, don't you? Which kind of only leaves you with, another
200,
180 or so.
Well, that would be enough for another loony.
Yeah, and a blodge loony at that.
It would also be enough for the secondary fanatic, I think.
Oddly, you're the team best equipped as goblins. The best team best equipped to take on Spartium because they haven't gone with a tackle and they've left themselves open to that.
Yeah, like it's not as scary for me as one would assume. Chaos Dwarfs would be terrible as first matchup.
The vampires and Lava Jackals, Fantastic Authors, the Necromantic, with the Awful Ghoul, are one of the other matchups.
I'm not certain about the vampires. I might be able to take a lot of falls off the field if the dice in my favor.
And this is going to be... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but you're right. I think Helio's pointing this matchup out because I think the werewolf of Lava Jackal is going to ruin the vampires, isn't he? He's going to cause a lot of TV death. And with so few kind of dodge as well, it's going to be a bloodbath.
And the ghoul with agility 5 actually is going to pay for himself during this match because he can just be well screened. He can pick up the ball and then just keep out of the way because the vampires won't have the mobility. Even you think with vampires typically there's going to be that level of mobility, but this isn't a properly developed vampire team, so they're not there yet. So they haven't got enough vampires to hypnotize their way through. They haven't got enough dodge to dodge their way through.
They do have 300 points of TV inducements though, so they could hire another vampire or 2.
That could be,
how much is the count?
He's
about 300 points.
Yeah,
isn't he quite a lot? Isn't he 380 or something?
Yeah,
he's 3 and something.
Yeah, but he's a solid. Is a solid player on the pitch, but too much for this matchup.
Well, I guess you could always go wizard and try to snipe the ghoul.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at Division 1, and we can get that started as well in a second. So Division 1, did we make predictions for that one?
No, we didn't. You said we'd go back and do it.
Yeah, so let's have a look at our predictions then. So looking back at the teams, I think because he won 5, I think we can't discount Wyanadja, the vampire guy. I think he'll be doing well. I think Cyber as well, still with his orcs. I mean, this is in no particular order. They are a great side. And I think the third one, which I'm going to pick, is going to be tough. Yeah, probably the Chaos Dwarfs. In no particular order.
I was about to say the dwarfs with the Agibus,
Baby Metal.
Baby Metal.
Yeah. I mean, also the frogs actually. So the high elves are about acceptable levels of goodness. You'd
let your children put them in the lunchbox.
What?
Acceptable levels of goodness.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I do like the Wombles because I'm from Wimbledon,
Yeah.
so I
Partial.
have to.
Okay. Static.
I think it's the Orcs in this one. They've got so much TV advantage that the enemy will have a lot of trouble actually filling all the inducements with useful stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really see many of the teams benefiting from bribes, which leaves the Wizard. Star players are out for the Vampires. Well, I guess the Vampires could fit them in. Yeah, but I think they'll be.
Count Luther is 390, by the way.
390. Yeah.
But for many teams, I think at some point you'll just pick inducements and they won't change much. Like you'll be picking Bloodvisors or something, which are not bad, but like you'd prefer to spend that inducement money on something more impactful.
Because of Bloodlust, vampires do get a lot out of the Bloodwise babes, because the knockout is the worst result you can get from the feeding, because you can never Kaz.
Wait, I thought it was badly hurt.
Yeah,
Oh no,
you can
they can
badly
BH.
hurt,
Oh, they can BH, but they can never get anything worse than that.
Yeah.
So it kind of means that you never have to worry about actually permanently damaging the team with the bites alone. But there's plenty of knockouts, so Bloodweiser Babes does come into it.
And obviously the Amazons, you know, their TV is about. There's quite a lot. Like this again, this division isn't massively bloaty except for the Orcs, so it's the right level for the Amazons to do well, as long as they don't face the Chaos Dwarfs too early.
Yeah, I still think the High Elves will fare better than the Amazons, just because they already have the Lodge online on so many players.
But the High Elves are going to be giving away inducements to everyone.
Apart from the Orcs
who will stomp them into the ground. So, you know.
Yeah, but again, the same thing. I think a lot of teams will have trouble actually fitting useful stuff into those inducements.
It's like using a fireball against High Elves isn't so effective, because you can't force them into that diamond formation where you can just ruin them with a fireball, and they've still got armor 8. So it's.
Okay, well, should we add an AI team and look at the matchups for this one as well? So.
Yeah, it's past midnight.
Okay, AI team is going to be
the Witching Hour.
Skaven 1350.
Oh.
Okay, so
one of the interesting things about the AI teams is they automatically get the average TV of the league, I think, of the division.
Yeah.
So.
Got some great skills.
This is an interesting one.
Great skills. Got
a push
movement 10.
Yep.
Gutter.
A strength 4 lineman.
Strength 4 lino and
an accuracy thrower.
Got a guard vermin.
And a cheerleader.
That's okay.
Yeah.
One cheerleader's fine.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's start this one then. So 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
All right, now who are the knights facing? Okay, Baby Metal are going to destroy Underworld Overground. It's going to be
Cyberpunk Dreams starts with the AI. He's gonna farm them.
Yeah.
There might not be a movement 10 gutter runner left after that first game.
It's an unfortunate matchup for the Knights of the Bloody Bowl, because playing against the Elves, they're not going to be able to get that much of an advantage from the hypnosis or from the strength, because they'll be outpositioned. So I don't see him having a clean sheet this season.
Actually, looking at their. No, they beat. Yeah, no, I think they'll still win. They beat a Skaven team 3-1, and then as their first game, fresh Vamps beating Skaven is a sign of a good coach. I think. I don't think that's the worst of the many bad matchups that this is given us. Underground Overground versus. Oh, was it? Oh, ooh, well, in that case, I take it back.
The Harpies are going to do a lot of damage to Chem. Chem Dancing isn't in a position to deal with all that dodge.
Yeah, and Baby Metal are going to walk all over Underworld Overground. That's there's at least 4 awful matchups here. Maybe 3. Well, yeah.
Well, you all saw it. I didn't pick them out. So there we go.
No.
All right. Let's go into Paper Division 2 and add an A rating to that one, and then we can go in there as well. So no Kislev team this time round. So let's add an A
Okay,
rating.
please, let's have the Dead Disney's play of Kane.
Ogres. 1,000 TV ogres. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The
ogres.
AI does not know how to play ogre at all. It doesn't have at the beginning of a clue. Anyone who faces this team is going to get lots of experience points from splatting Renoblars. They are snotlings. I don't care.
They got 5 ogres and 2 rerolls, so that's going to work out really well.
Yeah. So whoever rolls the AI is going to be in a really great position.
Well, it's the Wood Elves who've got the ogres by the look of it.
Yeah, this is great for them. Plenty of SPP.
You've seen it, Hilo. You've seen who you've got. You've got the poor fling team.
Oh, beautiful! I get the halflings. That was my first pick. It really was. And do you know what? I'm gonna sell that 12th player. I'm not gonna buy a reroll, and I'm gonna deny them a chef. They could sell a player.
Yeah, or they could waste some money on. So yeah, this might have been when I wasn't paying enough attention. Did you mention they should buy stadium inducements? Because they currently have 260 in the bank. But actually, they don't even need to sell a sub player. They just need to spend bank money. So they could spend the bank money on the chef.
Right. I've seen my opponent sold my 11th player. Yeah.
In some leagues, this is considered underhand. Just saying.
No. Before the first match, you can sell players. I wouldn't do it if it was day 2 and you start to burn your own money.
I mean, no, I'm totally. I game everything. It's totally fine by me. Just saying that.
I think we maybe need a rule for this as well. But yeah.
I think it's very Blood Bowl to allow it.
Yeah, it's part of the shenanigans, isn't it? Really. So
he's going to get a chef. If he wants a chef, he's going to get a chef. Because I can't sell anything else. I can't afford to drop a reroll, freeze what I need. There's even a temptation to go up to 4. Now I know bloody well I'm going to lose some of them. But
yeah, you should go to 4 anyway, because AG 2, you need 4 rerolls for the pickup.
But there's a great well of experience points waiting for me.
You hope.
Yeah, unless they dance away from you.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens.
I'd like to see you record this and then play it, speed it up, and it will just be loads of stunty halflings running 5 away, and then stunty dwarves running 4 closer, as the halflings slowly get further and further.
I mean, then it's just gang fell the trees.
Yeah, that'd be good
because they're not going anywhere.
I fear we might lose Fradden as a coach. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll give him some support.
Is this his actual very first game with us?
Yeah.
I will apologise before the match. I'll make it better.
Okay.
That'll definitely help.
All right. Well, we'll arrange another time to talk about shotgun, because it's getting a bit late at the moment. That has actually started, but I don't think any games have actually been played yet.
I was gonna play tonight actually, and then because of the screw up, I had to cancel it. So
yeah, so we can talk about those teams another time, I think. But
I feel like rather than referring to it as a screw up, we should call it the what's that thing you do in the theatre where you practice things?
Rehearsal.
Dress rehearsal.
Yeah, the rehearsal. There you go.
Rehearsal. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I wore all the clothes and everything. It was a dress rehearsal.
Oh no, I was naked the whole time. Sorry, it was just a rehearsal.
But you're in character. That's the important thing.
Just
Okay.
a little
Method.
hat with a rat written on it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Coordinate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helio.
The correct response is you are welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we'll show you Coordinate now how it's done. So thank you, Helio.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Static.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there we go. See.
I thought we were supposed to say goodbye from him, goodbye
yeah,
from me.
we're gonna do
Whatever.
that's the next bit, isn't it? So yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. If everyone has made it this far, I will post a link onto the Discord. All I think nearly 3 hours of it, but you know, hey, that's what editing's for, I guess. And yeah, we'll cover Shotgun at a later date, I'm sure. But yeah, thanks
To
for
be
listening, everyone.
continued.
And to Freyden, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.